Evening. Let's go with that. Good evening and welcome to MTG Card Market Live. My name is Phil Silverman and I'm joined as always by this guy right here.
My name is Greg Schaefer and we will be bringing you 4 rounds of Legacy tonight.
Sounds right.
Cool. And we actually already have a pair of players sitting down, so we should probably join them?
Probably.
Yeah.
That would be the wise thing to do.
Okay.
So we'll hop down there, see if we've got some progress going here. And we do. We got Anthony Zinni on the left playing against Brian Sherman on the right. Looks like Brian has Probe in his deck. I did not expect that.
Yeah, so turn 1, Gataxian Probe paying 2 life reveals a hand of Reanimator cards.
Mostly Reanimator-based cards. There's a Force of Will.
2 Force of Wills.
A couple Force of Wills in there.
And then Lava Spike.
Well, this is a tough one to race.
2 to me, 3 to you.
I like it. Do we have a turn 1 Careful Study, discarding a Grizzlebrand? Oh, yeah.
1, a 2.
At least 15 to 20 seconds. That's probably a good idea.
That is a good idea.
We're not smart enough to do that, QC.
Thank you, Captain QC.
For some reason,
Okay.
for some reason, Tone just went to put that Careful Study in the bottom of his library. That's a good idea. We'll start adding that splash screen. That's a good idea. Careful Study, discarding Tidespout, Tyrant, and Grizzlebrand. I don't know why I have Ugin up here. That card's getting banned in Modern anyways. Oops, not Disciple. The good one.
Yeah, Grizzlebrand seems pretty hard for Burn to beat.
Well, it does have Lifelink. Looks like Brian has a more unconventional build of Burn here. He's got Pyromancer in his deck. That would explain the Gataxian Probes.
Yeah, with 2 mountains as the only lands, if I'm Tony, I'm jamming, especially with Force of Will backup.
Yep. And Exhume, put in Grizzlebrand, and now we got 7/7 Lifelinker versus 2/1.
That's pretty good.
This isn't very fair. This is rude. I hope Brian has like 4 Fairy Macabres in his sideboard.
Captain QC, we will definitely try to get Eldrazi on camera if we have anyone playing it tonight.
I'm not certain we do. My assumption is no.
Yeah, we haven't had confirmation that we do have it in the room, and it seems like we would have heard about it if someone is doing that.
Certainly hope so. I'd like to see a little bit more of the Eldrazi Stompy deck. I haven't seen it in action outside of Star City Games Philadelphia.
Yeah.
But seems great.
Past that, is really just theory crafting.
Mm-hmm.
And like on camera in SCG Opens, you only see like 1 or 2 matchups or whatever.
Mm-hmm. All right, so we've got just Chain Lightning going after the Gristleman. Oh boy.
Wow.
And then Fire Blast, and Tone's just gonna get the Force of Will this.
Oh dear. Force of Will, pitching Ponder, keeping Force of Will as a backup in case he needs to draw 7 again to protect his Grizzlebrand in any way.
Yeah, Brian getting 2 tokens off of Young Pyromancer.
Yeah.
Tone gracefully giving him a die before this 14-point life swing.
Yeah, very nice of Tony.
How swell.
Nice guy, Tony.
Draws Thoughtseize for the turn. Not the best. But also, at this point, like, what do you even care about drawing?
You have to remember to complete all of the actions in your turn correctly.
So it's just don't get DQ'd.
Yeah.
All right, there's a Rift Bolt going at Tone, putting him down at 20.
Don't cheat.
This is a tough climb to get back in the game for Brian.
Yeah.
Let's see, actually drew a very good card if it was already in play.
Sulfuric Vortex?
Yeah.
The problem is that racing the 7/7 might be an issue.
It's so hard. It's so big. Why is it so big?
Because the card is busted.
Oh yeah, that's why. 7 coming in again, dropping Brian down to 4, bringing Tone back up to 23. And this is all but finished here.
Yes.
The Grizzlebrand is just gonna take these 7-point chunks out until Brian is dead, and we're gonna have to move to a game 2, I think. And yeah, that's it.
Yep.
Oh boy. This is in general a pretty lopsided matchup. Honestly, a lot of Reanimators matchups just feel lopsided like this.
I think it might be the most the most checking Legacy deck. What
do you mean by that?
Sort of like you're trying out a new brew or trying something a little underpowered maybe. Reanimator is neither a brew nor underpowered.
Certainly not underpowered. When Reanimator looks good, it looks really good.
Yeah, and there's a time, like 3 years ago where it was the best deck.
Yeah.
And it was the reason that Mystical Tutor got banned.
was more like 5 years ago, I think, at this point.
5?
Yeah,
Okay.
Mystical Tutor got banned a long time ago. I think it was 2011.
Oops. Okay. 4 or 5 years
actually,
ago.
maybe before that.
I don't know. I was coming back to the game, and I know that it got banned around then.
Yeah. But yeah, Reanimator, and that was before Grizzlebrand was printed.
Yes.
And then they printed Grizzlebrand.
Yes.
Oh, what a dumb card. Yeah, the deck has been around forever. Kind of through thick and thin. Like back when it was reanimating like Verdant Forces.
Yeah, that was a while. I think Iona and Elishnorn were kind of the go-tos for a while there, right?
Not even that long, because those were like before Mystical Tutor got banned. I mean, there was a Jin Gitaxias.
Uh-huh.
And Elishnorn. Elishnorn, as soon as she got printed, was an immediate one of in there.
Yeah.
Showing up in like Dredge as well.
Beat elves.
Yeah. Oh my God. Oh. I have like.
Good luck.
I have lost to that card so many times. Yeah, I own a Zendikar, but the Augurs, the Praetors were all new Phyrexia.
Okay. Yeah, before then, I don't recall.
I mean, like when the Praetors came, Jin Gitaxias was the sort of the go-to fatty, the one that you played a lot of before Grizzlebrand got printed.
Because it just led to getting more fatties.
I mean, it led to getting more fatties, and it also mind-twisted your opponent.
Yeah, yeah.
They go to 0 cards. Like, Jin Gitaxias is still a card that shows up sometimes in these sideboards because it's different than Grizzlebrand. Because, like, sometimes it's just better for them to have no cards.
Yeah, it's more aggressive.
Yes. And drawing 7, pretty powerful stuff. But yeah, once Grizzlebrand got printed, certainly took over the role as best fatty.
Seems good.
But when Reanimator is not looking good, I mean, it can look pretty bad.
Yeah. I mean, Tony take a mulligan here, because it is kind of an A plus B deck. The thing is, though, that Reanimator is probably one of the decks that mulligans the best in Legacy.
Yeah, it's no Dredge.
Sure.
Or anything, but like as far as combo decks, one of the better ones.
You can win. I mean, you have a lot of very good 5-card hands.
Yeah, the big difference like between this and say like the other Grizzlebrand deck and like Sneak Attack is the mana difference. Like you need at least 3 mana to kill your opponent with Show and Tell.
Yeah.
But this deck can just kill you on 2 lands.
Or
this deck can kill you on 1 land.
Yeah.
Just Entomb, Reanimate. You're dead. Throw a Lotus Petal in there, you just do it on turn 1.
Yeah, if you have Underground Sea, Entomb, Reanimate, and Force of Will and blue card.
Or even just a Petal.
Yeah.
Like you don't even need that other stuff sometimes. It's absurd. Tone looking at a pretty great hand. No counter spells, but it has
Entomb, Reanimate,
great.
Brainstorm, Lotus Petal, and yeah, pretty good.
I have to imagine this is a turn 1 Iona.
It's turn, yeah.
2 Lotus Petals for Brian here. Oh, Brian's got a brew.
I wonder if there is any like Tormod's crypt action.
There's a turn 1 Young Pyromancer. And Relic of Progenitus.
Ooh.
That's not going to be good enough, though, unfortunately, because of the fetch land. Needed to be Tormod's Crypt.
Needed the second mana, right?
Yeah, both the Petal and the Pluto Delta blank this. I hope Brian has a Spirit Guide.
Entomb itself would not blank it, though, right? Because the Entomb is not yet in the graveyard.
Correct.
Okay.
He needs to crack the fetch first or crack Lotus Petal.
Although, say it was just an Underground Sea, you can't actually relic at any point where there's only the creature in the graveyard.
No, because once the Entomb resolves, both the Entomb and the creature are into the graveyard.
Yeah, okay.
Tone just going to pass, though. Might be playing around Fairy Macabre Surgical Extraction here.
Weird.
It's going to take 2 and then fetch on end step. I think we're going to see an end step Brainstorm.
An end step? No, this is still Tony's turn.
No.
Right?
Brian attacked.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
I'm not sure what Tone was playing around specifically.
Probably Surgical, right?
I think Fairy Macabre's another one. I think Fairy Macabre I've seen a lot in burn sideboards.
Okay.
Just because it can't be countered.
I wonder if Tony sideboarded in like Show and Tell.
Maybe. He's going to go with the end step Brainstorm here. See what we find off this one. We get... there's the Iona. Careful Study.
Well, you can discard it.
And Abrupt Decay. Abrupt Decay is a bit of a brick here. He can decay the Relic if he really wanted to.
Yeah, he can cast it.
Using the Petal, but it's not great.
Mm-hmm.
Untaps and draws.
I mean, he might have to do it.
I think we might see that on end step.
It's kind of the path that he's walked himself down by not going for it turn 1.
Brian just going to draw for turn. He's going to cast a Probe for 2 life, and we get to see Tone's grip here.
But he hid the Iona.
I think that's wise.
Yeah, I agree.
Hiding the Iona means he can Careful Study next turn, and then any black land lets him reanimate.
Yep.
Brian gets a token, swings for 2. Even Elvish Norn isn't that bad here.
Did Tony put back a land? I don't think so, right?
He didn't see a land.
Okay. Oh, well, that throws a wrench in things. Although he doesn't have the second land, so can Tony overpower this? It seems like he could.
Draws Iona, Grizzlebrand, and a Verdant Catacombs.
Well, he definitely wants the land. I wonder if he's going to go for Iona or Grizzlebrand.
He's just going to shuffle them both, or he's going to probably draw one of them.
Yeah, it looks like he's set himself up to draw Iona. We'll see in a second.
Yeah.
Okay, draws Grizzlebrand.
I mean, he could Careful Study. He's 2 Careful Studies.
Yeah.
I think that's what we're going to see. I don't think he's going to... He'll just discard one of these.
Yeah, there's no reason to open up the second to the relics.
Yeah. Interesting. If he leads on... I'd be surprised if he led on Iona here. I feel like Iona's more important than Grizzlebrand. I guess they're both pretty much game over.
Yeah. Barring anything like a second color, right?
Yeah. Looks like he's going to discard Entomb and Iona. Probably try for the Reanimate here.
Yeah, and Brian just not having the second land has really bricked off.
Yeah. Anthony going to fetch with Verdant Catacombs here.
Wonder if he'll get Bayou or maybe just another Underground Sea.
I think he's going to get Bayou.
Yeah, Tony double checking. Yeah, Brian needs mana to actually access the Iona.
Okay, I'm going to make a small statement here.
Yeah.
I don't think Tone read the card.
Yeah. turn 1.
Yep.
Yeah.
If he had to read it there, that makes me think he just forgot what it did.
Yeah, he just thought it was Tormod's Crypt.
Not to throw shade at Tone here, but I know the guy.
here's some shade for Tony.
Oh, yeah. Throwing right at him.
Yeah.
And here's the Reanimate. Am I pausing here? Are we not going to do it? He's going to use Petal. Oh, and Careful Study.
Interesting.
Another Reanimate. That's not bad.
Maybe he really wants this Grizzlebrand, in fact.
I don't understand this, though. Like, you're just going to lose one of them.
I think he is like... He knows that he made a mistake, and now he's like trying to make up for it.
Yes! Yes, he did have the Spirit Guide.
Wow.
Oh, I'm so happy right now.
And now Tony got both of his creatures nuked.
Oh, boy.
He didn't have to put the second one in the
No,
graveyard.
he didn't, but he did it.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness, and Brian got him so bad.
Wow.
Wow. Goodness. Man, that's something that we saw a little bit in Modern, like with whatchamacallit, like
Eldrazi.
with Eldrazi specifically. When
Yeah.
people like you just hold your Spirit Guide and see if they play into it, and man, Brian got him.
And now Tony's pretty dead.
I don't know what Tony does to beat this now.
I mean, he's at 11.
Take 3, go to 11. He has no fatty. He discarded his Entomb.
And now he draws Show and Tell. So if he had not pitched the Grizzlebrand,
He'd be in a much better spot. Yeah,
he would
Not
have a
dead.
Grizzlebrand in
Yeah,
play.
exactly. Yeah, he just found a couple lands and a Daze here. Daze is going to be fine.
Tony has to be
gonna...
kicking himself.
Oh, yeah, definitely. He's going to shuffle away the Daze, though.
Indeed.
Just playing Polluted Delta. Passing back. Notably, Brian not activating the relic here, which I think is a little surprising.
The Rift Bolt goes upstairs. It's going to trigger Young Pyromancer. So this is with the casting.
I think this is with the time counter on the stack.
Okay, so he's going to brainstorm now, I think.
Abrupt Decay.
Oh, Abrupt Decay on Young Pyromancer.
Yeah,
Okay.
doesn't want to get the token.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Given that he still has the Decay, doesn't really have another good target for it.
Yeah, so this leaves...
And then Brian's going to bolt him in response.
Okay.
I don't think Tone kept the Daze, so that's going to work. Riftbolt going to resolve after this, put Tone down to 4 and then to 3, and it's a 2-turn clock facing down these 1/1s. Yeah, this is more like a mono-red Pyromancer deck than traditional Burn. It looks like Brian is packing a lot of Relic of Progenitus in his Relic of Progenitai in the sideboard.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for Tone, he just doesn't have.
He doesn't have a creature left.
No.
He has Show and Tell.
And it's not going to be good enough unless he finds that creature. Chain Lightning you, and that's it. Another Spirit Guide. Brian taking down game 2 thanks on the power of having, I think if he must have 8 Lotus Petals in his deck. 4 Spirit Guide, 4 Lotus Petal. I'm thrilled right now.
So yeah, it looks like Burn with Pyromancer.
We're gonna call it Pyromancer Burn.
Okay.
Just because we don't have a good name to use at this point. But yeah, this is seems to be a brew on Brian's part here. Very different than a lot of burn decks I've seen before. Yeah, I think Tone overextended a little bit in this sense by just
he dove
discarding the
straight
second
into
fatty.
that one.
Yeah, I mean I'm not sure why he discarded the second fatty. I think he just assumed that he was gonna need the Grizzlebrand immediately. Ooh, Tone smartly bringing in a Pithing Needle here as well.
For Relic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just one.
Yeah, it seems... I don't know, it just seems like...
Brian got him real bad?
Yeah. I mean, I think Tony... So, a lot of things went wrong there. Tony realized too late that he could get around Relic.
Mm-hmm.
But then it turned out he couldn't get around Relic. So the way that he made up for his not knowing at first just walked him right into it. It was very strange.
It was beautiful.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, I wonder how long the I feel like the Spirit Guide was in Brian's hand from turn 1. I think he just knew.
Maybe.
I mean, I think he did. I'm giving Brian the benefit of the doubt here because that was just beautiful. He played that game great.
Oh, sorry. I thought you meant, did Tony have a feeling that Brian had the Spirit Guide?
No, I don't think Tony did, and that's why it was so great. I mentioned it too. I thought it might be possible given the way he had been playing the game, because otherwise, like he was just blatantly tapping out into it. So, yeah, we'll see. Anyways, both players look at their opening 7s. Let's see how Tone is happy with his. There is a Grizzlebrand. There's an Animate Dead. I believe there's also a Careful Study, so it looks like a pretty easy keep for him. Brian is going to be going down to at least 6.
So Tony, in fact, does not have Careful Study. He just has 2 Brainstorms.
Oh, 2 Brainstorms? Okay.
Yeah, so he has no way to get the Grizzlebrand from his hand to his yard at the moment, but Brainstorm is pretty good at helping that.
Yep. I have a pretty simple rule when evaluating a lot of hands in Legacy, and it's, does it have a Brainstorm and a fetch land? That's probably a keep. And it hasn't failed me too much, I gotta say. Brainstorm is a ridiculous Magic card.
It's very good.
And, play it. It's great.
This looks like Brian looking at a hand that he's keeping. Scry's the bottom. I saw at least Mountain, Lotus Petal, Simian Spirit Guide. Not totally sure what else. Tony just playing an island and passing.
There's a Gataxian Probe as well. I think Brian considering firing off this Probe here.
He has multiple Spirit Guides.
All right, we see the hand from Probe here. 2 Brainstorms, Grizzlebrand, Fetchland, Swamp.
Do you think Tony brainstorms end of turn?
I do. It depends what Brian plays.
Sure.
Probably not though. I don't really see the point.
Plays Lotus Petal. All right, doesn't do it. Echoing Truth, the draw.
Echoing Truth seems pretty good here, at least in general.
It does.
I like a main phase Brainstorm here.
I do as well.
Trying to find he might have Duress in his deck post board. And that'd be a nice one to just get some access to what Brian's doing. Only found Lotus Petal, Abrupt Decay, and another Brainstorm. So still nothing to get that Grizzlebrand in his graveyard.
I think you can get rid of either Decay or Echoing Truth, perhaps. It doesn't seem like you need both.
Yeah, they both function similarly. I guess I would be tempted to take Echoing Truth for the possibility of getting multiple things, but and because it's easier to cast. But I think Tone is thinking about just going for the Abrupt Decay here.
Huh. It seems like he's going to keep both. No.
I think I'd keep any Brainstorm, a second Brainstorm over a second answer to a permanent.
I agree. I think if I'm Tony, I just want to be digging.
Yeah. And Tony's just going to pass back. Brian draws his card for the turn. See if he's able to find a Pyromancer here. Yeah, this is a different sort of burn deck. Not sure why Brian has all these like Lotus Petal type effects, but they're pretty unique. Yeah, we see that Tone did keep both of the disruptive effects, the permanent answers. I think his reasoning here is that his hand is pretty slow, and doesn't have anything like to really do right now. So he'd rather just not lose to random permanents.
So Tony untapping and fetching his upkeep before he draws.
Probably just gonna get a dual land here. I figure a green producing dual land.
Yeah, he kept.
Yeah, it gets it by you.
Yeah, I think he has Swamp in hand, so he can cast Abrupt Decay.
Makes sense.
There's
Yeah,
nothing,
he has basic Swamp.
Nothing to decay at the moment, though.
Yeah, just waiting on if Brian plays a Pyromancer or even a Relic. Decaying a Relic is really not the worst thing in the world when you're so reliant on it not being in play.
For sure.
All right, so I'm going to draw.
Draws Exhume. So
really
he
help.
has 2 ways to bring a creature back, but cannot actually get one into his yard just yet. Is this Pyroblast?
I think so. I like this Pyroblast a lot.
Oh yeah.
You know his hand is really not great
And
right now.
now Tony is left with 2 answers to permanents that Brian doesn't have, and Tony could have kept another Brainstorm.
Could have, but he didn't. All right, Brian gonna play a 3rd land. Let's see if we have a Sulfuric Vortex. Just a Pyromancer.
I like the way that Brian taps his lands.
Yes, same.
It's kind of like Tom Ross.
A little bit, yeah. Tony not going for the end step Abrupt Decay. Just gonna draw
Just
his card.
really wants to decay things that directly stop his combo.
I mean, but do you? I would decay this because I would wanna animate dead it.
Agreed. Oh wait, no, I wouldn't want to do that.
Why? Seems great.
Uh,
Am I crazy?
I think it's more just like it's Brian's clock, and Tony has Echoing Truth anyway.
All right, we see an attack for 2 and a pass back. Tony drawing Force of Will for turn and just shipping back. Emperor Calgar, there is a Jund deck, a Legacy Jund deck. I know Tone's played it before.
Bolt you.
Is this the decay in response here?
Well, you still get a token.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if he doesn't want him to get any more tokens.
I can't imagine he would go back on it now.
Yeah, he's just gonna let it happen. Gonna go down to 14. Brian untapping here with his his Pyromancer and 1 token.
Attack for 3. Is Tony good at decay?
Yeah, he is. Let's see if Brian has a burn spell in response.
Yikes.
Looks like he has Fire Blast, but I really don't think he's gonna fire that off now.
It's kind of seemed like Tony's walked himself down a path of being too.
Ooh, he is gonna do it.
Yeah.
Fire Blast you. Let's see if Tone is gonna force this or not.
It's like a pretty decent force target, but you could also not and just save the Echoing Truth for the tokens.
Yeah, I kind of like that. It's gonna put Tone to 10 from the Fire Blast, and then take 1 from the attacking token, going to 9.
Yeah. The problem with this is now Tony is going, like, assuming he winds up Echoing Truthing the tokens, then he's used his 2 answer spells on. Oof. This has to get forced.
Yeah, this seems
Isn't
basically impossible to beat otherwise.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tone's in a
Tony has
very
to
rough
be
spot.
wondering how he has gotten himself into this spot.
I mean, he bricked on a discard thing.
Discard thing.
A discard outlet. And he's going to force going to 8 here. Leaving Brian with just a Simian Spirit Guide in his hand. Or he exiled both. He exiled both of them. Ooh,
Draws Verdant Catacombs.
Still no Entomb or the other one. Careful Study?
Yes.
Yes, both of those.
Or Putrid Imp.
Or Hapless Researcher.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the better Putrid Imp.
Probably. Is that? Nope, that's a land.
Pass back.
Wow.
He's at 6 right now. Relic.
Wow.
Ooh. That might be it.
Yeah.
This is draw what? Actual show and tell?
Yep. Show and tell and a creature.
No, he has Grizzlebrand.
Oh, okay. There's force.
Oh.
Good sequencing here.
He could animate dead the Pyromancer, right?
He could. Might have to.
Yeah, I mean, I think I would have been tempted to do so, but it just dies of the relic.
Mm-hmm.
That keeps him still alive to the exhume though. Tone goes to 2. Reanimate.
Wow.
Oh, we've drawn all of one half of the deck, and
Wow.
that's it. Tone losing. Pyromancer Burn taking it down in round 1. Careful Sight was the top card, wasn't it?
It was.
Right on time. Thank you, Reanimator, for being a delightful, delightful deck.
I'm gonna put that one on Tony.
Shuffling away that second brainstorm.
Yeah.
I mean, we can give him some, be mean to him for that at least.
I think he's probably pretty mad at himself. I think Tony hasn't played Legacy in a few weeks,
He definitely hasn't.
so I think we might have seen some rust showing through there.
Oh, very, very possible there. I think we can't say for certain at all that he could have won that game if he had made that different decision, because the brainstorm was just 3 extra looks.
Yeah.
But getting 3 extra looks at a careful study there is going to be pretty friggin' helpful, especially because Brian didn't have the relic until the very end of the game, so he didn't really have a way to interact with the graveyard.
Yep.
So it goes. Anyways, I want to go hop out there, see if we have another match. In the meantime, Greg will talk to you about Legacy Jund. All right, Greg, tell him about Legacy Jund.
Legacy Jund is worse than Shardless Bug, in my humble opinion. It is better against fair decks. It is worse against combo decks compared to Shardless Bug, and that is probably the closest cousin in Legacy for Jund. That's my analysis. I can't really recommend Jund, and that is in part because it is good against the deck that I play. AK Cracker Phil will not be at the PPTQ. He will be at Grand Prix Washington, D.C. playing Team Sealed, and his 2 teammates are Kent Ketter and Evan Smith. Evan Smith top-8'd GP Atlanta a few months ago, which was also limited. So Phil is by far the worst player on their team, and you should feel free to remind him at any time in the chat that he is the worst on his team. Emperor, thank you. I put no effort into my dress. What else? Oh, sorry. To answer your question, actually, AK Cracker, I will be at the PPTQ here at Card Market on this Sunday, and you can see right there the advertisement for it. It is a 1K, so first place is getting $400 in addition to the RPTQ invite and the Snapcaster Mage that comes with that invite.
That was so weird.
You played interestingly.
I was like, what the hell is that? Spirit Guide?
Yeah.
I was like, what?
That got you pretty good.
Yeah, he definitely got me. That and the Pyroblast on the Brainstorm again.
Oh, that was good. That was hot.
Yeah.
Let's have Tony walking through the bathroom here. Oof. So Emperor, you don't like Team Sealed? It's good. Although Wizards decided to not do any video coverage of this Grand Prix for whatever reason. I think it's, they definitely seem to have figured out that they get way lower viewership for limited. But I kind of feel like Team Sealed should be an exception, because you get those really stacked teams all floating to the top at the end of day 2 and even day 1, and it can make for some really interesting matches. Johnny Turbo, our PPTQ here is not going to be streamed. If we had more people who were already qualified, perhaps, maybe we could get that to be swung, but personally, I need to play in it, not stream it, unfortunately. The one person that I know who's already qualified who could do commentary is Dan Duan, who did Modern yesterday here, but I think he's judging it, so that I don't think it's going to happen. If it does, you can definitely expect some advertising the next day or 2 on Facebook. So yeah, Emperor says that their problem with Team Sealed is that it's sealed. I definitely understand that. Like the last team sealed GP I played was GP Detroit last year, and I do feel like our pool was underpowered in terms of like, like I think half of our rares were like just not very good. So that was frustrating, but I do think that compared to normal sealed, like having 12 packs just does reduce a fair amount of the variance that's just intrinsic in sealed. But yeah, what can you do? Ooh, Thermonk, thank you for the follow, or Thurman C, if that's how it's pronounced. Yeah, so Gave Guru of Rad says limited is pretty bad to watch. Watching sky spawners and 2/3s crash into each other just isn't that interesting. Yeah, I mean, I've heard, I've played this limited format, this block, a bit, not a ton, because most tournaments now are constructed, but I can't say that this block has been like my favorite in terms of limited. I think it's been a little bland, or just like the archetypes are a little maybe imbalanced, but I think a lot of making limited matches interesting reflects, or like the inability of commentators to make those matches interesting might come back to just the focus that Wizards has put on constructed more and more over the past like 10 years or so. I think if you look back in Magic's history to like a while ago, limited was far more at the focal point of like a lot of the best players, and even the lower end players. Like I remember growing up in high school, and like I didn't really play constructed at all, in part because I had no money because I was in high school, but also in part because everyone at the store I played at just drafted. That's all anyone was interested in doing. But now, after I came back to the game many blocks later, it seemed like the focal point had shifted greatly, and now it's like playing like limited is sort of just like a novelty to some extent. Johnny Turbo, I do agree. Yeah, the PT does a good job because you can, you follow someone's draft and then you see how that spins out, I guess. But to really cover a sealed tournament well, I guess it is hard. I guess it's easier to make day 2 more interesting because you can do that sort of a similar structure to the way that they cover the PT, following one person's draft or, one pod perhaps. But yeah, to make sealed on day 1 more interesting. The thing that I really love though is, you get so many more surprises, I feel like, when you're watching games of limited, because you don't, say it's compared to standard. If you know what archetype both players are playing, you probably know like almost 70 out of 75 cards, a good amount of the time. Or even if it's 65 out of 75 cards, 60 out of 75 cards. And there are just fewer surprises. When those surprises do come out in standard, it is like cool and exciting, but in limited, it can be like every turn. You just have no idea like what cards in each color each player managed to pick up. And that's not even saying anything of like bomb rares or what removal someone happened to be able to get. Yeah, SCG, so yeah, Johnny Turbo references Atlanta as having good coverage. I think that might come back. I forget exactly who covered that. Was that Cedric covering? Because in general, I think SCG's commentators are just so good. I know they were trying a bunch of new people, but Cedric is kind of just the master. Outside LSV. LSV is also the master. And as expected, some people were pissed at Modern. I actually, Phil and I went to GP Eldrazi Winter this past weekend. I did better than Phil, but I also did not make day 2. And I personally went 1-3 against Eldrazi, so that was unfortunate. Yeah, AK Cracker. I will be at the PPTQ. Phil will be at GPDC. But what can you do? Yeah, Jtron. Yeah, Cedric did not commentate the last Legacy event. It seems like he's pulling back a little bit from the grind of going to every weekend and being their basically every week commentator.
I got bad news. I failed.
Yeah? Good job.
I managed to perfectly miss a game starting. So
Because you were getting half and half?
that's not why. That has nothing to do with it.
Were you eating candy?
I was not. I was getting aspirin for my injured hand.
Let's show the camera your hand. So Phil doesn't have the best balance on his bike.
That's not true. I have very good balance.
Well,
The ground was slippery.
maybe the ground moved.
But yeah, this is nice. This is nice right here.
Maybe I was behind a car and I just pulled the ground out from under you.
I gotta say, that would be pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Given your earthbending strength right there.
Pan 2099. Kobolds.
It's bad.
Yeah. I have some bad news.
Kobolds is in my opinion, I don't know. Would you call it a bad? I don't want to call anything a bad Belcher deck, but it's basically a Belcher deck.
Mm-hmm.
It's just fine. And I think I'll be able to shuffle fine this weekend, Gibbous. I was actually Kent offered to shuffle. He's like, I'll shuffle for you if you need it, and I'm like, I can shuffle. I'll be able to shuffle cards face because I have to shuffle face down because I'm sitting in the center.
You might have to go find Caleb Durward and borrow his.
The wrist guards?
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently that would keep my wrist straight. I'll be all right.
You're like Luke Skywalker.
That's like a big reach, I gotta say.
But I can reach because my hands work.
Oh my god. Thank you. 3 game 3s were going on right there, in spite of Greg's foolishness. There was Shardless versus Grixis Pyromancer.
Okay.
I think Kyle basically it was plussing a Jace, and Sydney was Hellbent playing Shardless. So that game pretty locked up. There is an Eldrazi deck here.
Okay. Who's playing?
I don't know his name, but he played against Zeke in the first round, and Zeke won. And
Nice.
Zeke said he got very lucky to do so. Zeke playing a Mother of Runes deck against the Warping Whale deck. You think he wouldn't be favored?
Yeah, I imagine that's a matchup to board out your Mother of Runes. Although I think Knight would be good there.
That was my thought as well. But you have 4 Knights. They have 4 Reality Smashers and some Endbringers and some Thought-Knot Seers.
Yeah, they have like 11 Knights. You have 8 because you have 4 Green Sun Zeniths.
Ah, yes.
Which can get Warping Wailed.
Yes, they. Oh boy, that is a card.
Yeah.
But yeah. What was I saying? Stop spilling water everywhere.
It's the bottle. It's not me.
Can you drink from the other side, heathen? Anyways,
The bottom.
the other matchup we had in Game 3 was Storm versus Esper Stoneblade, and Wayne was playing some Bant deck with Green Sun Zenith, and I saw him Zenith for a Loaming Shaman.
I don't know what that does.
Pull up Loaming Shaman.
Let's do that.
Good old Ravnica, original Ravnica Loaming Shaman. Dissension, my mistake. Oops. Misclicked a little bit.
Yeah.
It's okay, Greg. Please don't make fun of me.
Okay.
There it is, Loaming Shaman. Yeah, when it enters the battlefield, target player shuffles any number of target cards from his or her graveyard into his or her library.
What?
Yeah, it's really bad against Ground Seal. I know you were thinking that.
Yeah.
But it's it's a zenithable target that can be better than Scavenging Ooze sometimes. When we didn't have Scavenging Ooze, this is all we could do. Like, this is as far as Green Sun Zenith targets. Like, you just have to go get Loaming Shaman.
It's sweet art.
Yeah!
It's a big old shovel.
He's got a big shovel and he's got a goofy looking beard. Looks like Centaur Zeus.
How much of the 3 power do you think is coming from the shovel?
All of it, probably.
Probably all of
He'd
it.
probably be an 0-2 without the shovel.
Yeah.
Maybe a 1-2.
Maybe.
Not certain. Anyways, yeah, I saw this in play. I don't know why. It was against Shardless, so I think it was to protect maybe some from Deathrite activations. It shrinks Goyf pretty well sometimes.
Sometimes.
I think in general it's going to be worse than Scavenging Ooze, but I'm really interested to see why Wayne had it. But he was playing against Shardless, so there were 2 Shardless decks, Grixis Pyromancer, this Bant deck and Storm and Esper Stoneblade going on, and I saw Andrew playing lands against Brandon, who was playing Jeskai Stoneblade as well. So
Okay.
a few Stoneforge Mystic decks milling about. The Bant deck was also a Stoneforge Mystic deck.
Sounds good.
Everybody loves Squire.
Yeah.
That's what I've understood.
Did Flicker Wisp win? Yeah. What'd you beat?
I'm not sure.
Okay, fair.
And we also have a Death and Taxes deck and a two. Greg's
Nice.
and 2 Death and Taxes decks because Greg Ivy has betrayed me in the most brutal way possible. I can't think of any worse betrayal than someone putting down Dark Ritual for Mother of Runes.
You have Aether Vial? That's like a repeat of a Dark Ritual.
Don't please. I would prefer if you didn't insult me to my
They're
face.
both instant speed.
Yeah, they're very similar cards. Aether Vial and Dark Ritual. Again, spilling water everywhere. Just get a new water bottle. You're not going to do
this
it.
one was free. I got it from work. That's why it's defective. I'm not going to name where I work.
My co-host. I'll tell you where he works.
I can't openly disparage where I work.
No. Can I?
Nah.
No?
Where you work?
No.
Sure,
No, where you work. What connections do I have to that?
I don't know.
Anyways, we do have one Storm deck here tonight. Nathan is playing it again. I saw him show me his hand, which was a very easy kill, and in play was an Ethersworn Canonist.
Nice. Against what deck?
Storm.
No. Who is playing Ethersworn Canonist?
Esper Stoneblade.
Okay.
And then there was
that hurts.
Yeah, and then there was a Jace that came down, and it was just bad news bears all around. I felt bad.
Is that on purpose? Because
What?
Ethersworn Canonist is a bear?
No comment. Anyways, we'll see what other decks we can put on camera later. Maybe we'll put on Brenna Ivy.
Maybe.
See if she wants to play Death and Taxes, but she is a
lover of bears.
fan o' bears, as she is certainly known to advertise herself as. We have a lot of options as far as Mother of Runes and Stoneforge Mystic decks to put on.
Sounds like a
camera.
great tournament.
Yeah, it does. We got so many fair decks. Everyone just wants to play fair.
Yeah.
I guess like most of the decks that I listed did have Force of Will, like the Shardless, the Grixis Pyromancer deck. Kyle's deck looked really good.
Was Jordy in play?
No, he beat an engineered playing on human.
Ooh.
Apparently there was a decay in the board, and
Okay.
he just waited, drew infinite cards because Painful Truths is really good.
Yeah.
And eventually decayed it,
Okay.
and it looked good. It looked strong. I mean, like the Painful Truths just fulfills a really I don't know. This is such a satisfying card to cast.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's okay. Have you even cast it?
No.
Wow. Okay, it's fantastic. Think about it like this. It's like an Ancestral Recall if it costs 2 more. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
Is that right?
It's a sorcery also.
Yeah, my mistake. It's like... Okay, so I've played a lot of Divination. And every Divination I've ever cast is garbage compared to 1 Painful Truths.
Yes.
It's just... It was just so impressive. Yeah.
Pan 2099. I do not have blue-white fetches. For I'm sorry.
Unfortunately not.
I have 4 of them.
Oh, you're just.
Hey, Peanut Gallery. Anyways, but yeah, we'll have the next round soon. I think we only had one other match going on. Storm.
It's almost over. No, that one's done.
Okay, so the band matchup.
Yeah.
Do you know if he was playing Retreat in his deck?
I didn't see it.
Okay. But yeah, I'm really interested to know what was in Wayne's deck.
Wayne.
Wayne Tam.
Wayne is a cool name.
Yeah.
Is that all you have to contribute?
I
Wayne is a cool name.
Yeah.
You are a toddler. Anyways,
Stoneforge.
yeah.
Trinian.
Kyle, would you like to be on camera next round?
Yeah.
Okay, great. All right, so we're gonna.
Drew 6 cards.
All right, we are definitely gonna watch Kyle's deck because of the possibility.
That's like the best possible matchup for that card.
Nay, the probability that Jory N will be excellent. Let's pull up Jory N. Man, this card is nice, and also
Great art.
and also a Merfolk wizard. I know Kyle described it as a mermaid, and that is mostly accurate, but not a creature type.
It's really not much of a merfolk.
No, I mean she's underwater.
Yeah, I mean, I'm talking about the ability.
Not much of a Merfolk.
Yeah.
Are you the Merf? I guess you are kind of the Merfolk expert. which is not a compliment.
As far as I'm aware, only one person has won a PPTQ in the store with Lord of Atlantis.
You might be the only person in the world who's done that.
Yep.
In the store?
Because that.
The only person under the sea.
Man, you must have run really hot all day. Oh wait,
I
you
beat
did.
Phil in that tournament.
Ran extremely hot. How lucky.
People I beat in that tournament. You.
Yes.
Paul, the manager of the store now.
Oh, you did beat Paul. Okay.
And Gabby.
All right.
In the mirror.
God, the mirror sounds completely off.
You want to go first. You want to draw Aether Vial.
And
That's the mirror.
Wow, that sounds like every Aether. You described every Aether Vial mirror right there. You want to draw first. You want to draw first. You want to go first and draw Aether Vial in your opener.
I did that.
Okay, that's kind of amazing. In Detroit, I cast Spreading Seas against a Jund deck and enabled them to Painful Truths for 3 when they otherwise had only 2 colors. Now that does not feel good.
Maybe you wanted them to take that point of damage.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I wish I had played versus like no, sorry, I don't wish. I'm very happy I didn't have to get to play against any Jund decks when I was in Detroit. I played Lantern Control, and that deck was awesome. What did you play in Detroit, Greg?
I played Abzan Collected Company.
How'd it go for you?
I lost my win and in for day 2 to Eldrazi Tron.
I'm just gonna speak for Greg here. It feels bad like when you at least like in years previous when you lose playing for day 2 and you go to 6 and 3. It feels 800 times worse losing for day 2 to go 5 and 4.
4 and 4 in rounds played.
To be fair, I had nothing to laugh at. I won 1 match last weekend. I went 1 and 4 in Detroit.
3 and 4 overall, with your buys.
Yes, exactly. I'm saying in matches played, I went 1 and 4.
Phil played Lantern.
Yeah,
Good job.
And I gotta say, the deck was outstanding, and I played so poorly. It was like poetic.
You got your bell rung.
I did. I tried to ring their bell, but I got my bell rung, and it felt bad.
Yeah.
The deck was really good, and I can see why it would be pretty horrible if Lantern got popular, because it is kind of like you do have to play fast, and it is like sort of asking a lot, and some people just don't concede very often.
Yeah.
Which can be annoying. Because like, okay, the biggest thing with Lantern is that when they have a bad card, it is correct to let them draw it every single time.
Yeah.
Like ideally you just only mill them when you absolutely have to.
Yes.
Because that lets you, because you'll win. You're 100% to win in that case. But that's just not always the case because you have this thing called the round clock, and that really messes you up.
Indeed.
This didn't really come up too much for me. Like, my mistake was just playing poorly. Example, let my opponent draw a removal spell for his own Revel Arc.
Ooh.
He had a Solid Pride Mage in the graveyard. And that blew up my Ensnaring Bridge.
Yeah.
I lost after that.
Dead Phil.
It was really stupid. I would have been in a rough spot anyways, but it still felt very bad.
Yeah.
That was the first match of the tournament, and I was like going to win, but yeah, whatever. Wow, I do remember the how common Spreading Seas was in Jund Standard. Do you remember that? Did you play that?
I was not playing.
So yeah, Alara Standard. There was just like the most common way to fight Jund, which was just the best deck the whole time. Like, it was always the best deck.
Jund was?
Yeah.
That sounds truly miserable.
Well, not everyone played it. Like, Cruel Control was like not bad.
Okay.
But like Jace was always suppressed a little bit because of how good Bloodbraid Elf is.
So this was after Fairies?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, post Fairies.
'Cause I feel like I would have just played that the whole time.
Oh, Fairies was absurd. Fairies was a really, really ridiculous deck. But yeah, Spreading Seas was just really, really good against those greedy mana bases. All right. Well, I don't want to put Kyle on. He's just playing again. Oh,
We
see
can
Brian
see
again.
Brenna versus Zeke.
Could do that, or John versus Greg. That's Shardless versus
Yeah.
Death and Taxes.
Either. Yeah, that's fine too.
Let's do that. I'll do
Okay.
that.
You want this?
Hey, Kyle. We already watched your opponent. So can you get
Who's my opponent?
Brian Sherman?
That's okay.
Can you get Greg Ivy and John Loudis on camera?
Okay.
Thank you.
There's one person.
Okie dokie.
Yeah, I'd rather we see the Maverick Death and Taxes matchup. We've seen it like
Yeah,
for the
yeah, I
fair
get
amount.
that. Yeah. Captain
Yeah.
QC, apparently we have one copy of Eldrazi in the room,
Yeah, we
but it lost to Maverick.
It did. It is playing. I don't know if it's Alex or Chris.
Who
playing
is
the deck.
Pan 2099?
I don't know.
Is that Sydney?
No, Sydney's out there.
Oh, then I have no idea. Am I gonna get a playmat in Madrid? I have no idea. I imagine if I do, I'll probably wind up just keeping it.
Why?
I don't know,
Just
nostalgia.
Just throw it out.
I mean, if it's cool. If it's not cool, then I don't know.
Okay, so what's the threshold?
Of how cool?
Yeah, what's like not cool enough to you?
Oh.
Mina and Den?
Well, I thought it would be like a Madrid-centric one.
I don't think it's gonna be that. I think it's gonna be a card.
A card, like a new card.
Yeah, like what if it was like
I like Innistrad.
All right, so we got Shadows over Innistrad. Like if it was Relentless Dead, you would definitely want it.
Yeah, because that card's like 80% to be in my deck.
Eight. You heard it here first. Like 20 cards spoiled from the set, and Greg has already called Relentless Dead 80% to be in that.
I know that I like that card.
Anyways, I want to look at the play area, see if we have players sitting down.
I liked Zombies last time. I see no reason why I wouldn't like it this time.
Oh my god, you played Zombies?
No, I played Delver. Marianne played Zombies.
Zombies was bad.
No, it was great.
No, it wasn't.
I thought it was good.
Well, here's the thing. Zombies was in the category of decks that were, quote, supposed to be Delver. And, didn't.
It was close.
No. Well, yeah, it was close, but Delver's still better.
Yeah, the sideboard Celestial Purges were very good.
Yeah, and Snapcaster Rage and all that garbage. Delver's stupid, man.
Yeah.
It was like I say that, like, you know, as if Delver was just always the best deck. Like, Delver was always, quote, the best deck, but it actually did have bad matchups. Getting Thragtusk Cavern was still pretty awful.
Yep, or Primeval Titan with Cavern.
Well, that's what happened afterwards. First
Yeah.
it was Thragtusk, and then
Yeah.
it was Primeval Titan the next turn. Alright, we got Greg on the left here.
Good
playing some
evening,
Death and
Thalia of
Taxes.
Thraben. So yeah, we have a fine gentleman on the left here, Greg Ivy, playing a good guy deck.
Sorry, I mistyped that. Shardless Bug, not Shardless Sultai.
David Byer, good evening.
Good evening!
Apologies for the Moobot. Moobot is feeling frisky tonight, as always.
Yeah, David, you actually missed Zinni. You missed Zinni playing. Zinni lost to Mono Red Pyromancer Burn. It was a very interesting deck from Brian Sherman. Brian's actually playing. We were originally going to put Kyle Norman on this round, playing the Grixis Pyromancer deck.
Yeah.
But he's playing against Brian. We don't want to watch him again. So maybe next round.
If anyone is ever wants to see someone dive headlong into a not on board trick, it was great.
Oh man.
Involved Relica Progenitus and Simian Spirit Guide, and it was adorable.
It was powerful. I gotta say. I guess I could take Jory N off here because that's not gonna come up. Let's just pull up old mom.
Wrong art, but okay.
This art's great.
It is very good art.
I'm happy with it.
If this is the Mother of Runes, then the original art is the Grandmother of Runes.
That's not unreasonable at all.
Yeah.
All right, both players ready to start here.
Greg Ivy with the very intimidating Hare Yuya sleeves.
They are intimidating.
Right?
The last time I played against Haruya Sleeves, my opponent 9-0'd day one of the Grand Prix.
Nice.
He beat me. That was in Madison.
That's step one.
I think it was. I think I was my first or second round at Madison.
Okay.
And he was playing Haruya Sleeves, and he beat me so easily.
Was it a Japanese player?
Yes.
Yeah, that tournament was really hard because it was the week before the Pro Tour.
Yeah, I played against 1 or 2 GP top 8 competitors in that.
I played against 2.
Okay, what does that say?
Phil, can we start? Yes, but
yes,
we have no way of telling him. Oh boy.
Yes! Oh, Greg, you can start.
Alright. We have our players drawing their hands, getting underway here.
They should know they can already resolve mulligans.
They should know that.
Alright, we'll see what we got here. Ooh, Greg's hand looks pretty decent. Got some lands, got some creatures, and a Jite.
It's a little slow, but it looks like a keep.
John's hand was like 6 lands Brainstorm. Pretty quick mulligan. I think Greg's hand's like unexciting, but he's probably just gonna draw Vial on turn 1.
That would be ideal. I mean, yeah, the hand's perfectly fine. Having Thalia and Revoker, you have a couple two mana plays. Having a Plow is nice against most of the format. Yeah.
Having Plow, I mean, is you have 2 plows or just 1?
I think 1 Plow.
I think just like turn 2 Thalia. I mean, it's on the draw, but it's still like a pretty like it's like enough for me to want to keep the hand.
Yeah, and you have a look at another, or 1 look at a vial.
Yeah.
Captain QC, Greg Ivy is not borrowing my deck. In fact, he and his wife have 2 copies of this deck. They are both playing it in this tournament.
Now, what Greg means to say is that combined they have 2 copies. They don't each own 2 copies.
Correct.
I want to make sure that that's clear. They don't have 4 copies.
They function as a unit.
But yeah, Greg has a copy and Brenna has a copy.
Yes.
John just going to play a Misty Rainforest and pass the turn. Let's see if Greg drew that vial. He did not. He drew a Pony Princess. as Simon has wanted to call it, Vryn Wingmare. All right, John drawing his card for the turn.
A cool thing that can happen here when you're on the draw as well is, if John plays a Dark Confidant or plays a Tarmogoyf or a Baleful Strix, use Swords it, then play your Thalia.
I don't think you Swords a Baleful Strix.
Maybe not.
I think a Baleful Strix is not so worrisome.
It's not the best. I mean, Thalia is good against it, which is nice.
Yeah. And he's got Thalia. He's got Thalia. Well, Flicker Wisp isn't great against it.
It is not.
I think a Goyf would pretty quickly get Sword Steer.
Yeah, Goyf would be ideal. Nope.
Ooh.
That is good.
Yep.
So Greg has to really hope that Thalia doesn't get hit.
Yeah, Thalia would be pretty bad. Revoker's the one you want to get hit, I think.
Yeah, Revoker is usually the first card that I board out against Shardless Bug.
Really?
Yeah. You just can't really afford to have it in the deck.
It's kind of surprising.
It doesn't do that much. You can name Liliana.
And Deathrite.
That's yeah. You really want to be rest in peacing Deathrite, and
makes sense.
Liliana's not always actually that great against you.
All right, so 1 card down. I don't know what die that is, but this seems very complicated.
Yes. 5. All right.
Lose
land. Flicker Wisp.
Well,
so Greg has to draw a land.
Yep, he does now.
Yikes.
Let's see if we get there. I don't believe we do.
Nope.
It's another copy of Swords.
Yikes. Hymnaturok.
Yeah, it's a good magic card. Let's see if John has a Shardless Agent here. That would really start sticking the screws to Greg. I don't think that's the expression. Putting the screws on? Tightening the screws? I'm going to keep throwing the word out there until you tell me how it's supposed to be.
I'm going to let you keep saying incorrect combinations.
All right, there's a Swords, and that's almost certainly getting... I'm sorry, there's a Goyf that's going to get Swords. We have Sorcery, Creature, and Land, so John's going to gain 3.
Gain 3. That Tarmogoyf should be exiled. And I'm going to go tell them to do that.
Is important for future Goyfs. It doesn't actually matter. It matters with Deathrite. 2 Deathrite Shamans coming down for John here. Let's see. Greg doesn't even decide. Oof. Really want to draw a land there to Revoker these Deathrites. Let's see what John can do about this. There we go. Get that Goyf out of here. John has access to a bunch of mana this turn. Exiles Greg's Plains, and then there's a Shardless Agent. Cascade. Land. Abrupt Decay there. Worst possible hit there, and that's just going to go to the bottom. This is always the downside. This is like the old Bloodbraid Elf in Bloodbraid Elf and Bloodbraid Mirrors. You never want to cast Bloodbraid into an empty board.
Mm-hmm.
Just because of the possibility of turning off your Shriekmaw.
Yeah.
Oh, and John's suspending the Ancestral Vision.
I think Greg is dead.
Greg's not in a good spot. If he draws a land, he can Revoker these Deathrites, though.
Sure.
Which I think means he's not just dead. He's still in a bad spot, don't get me wrong. But it's not great. He is just going to Swords 1, though. John accepts, goes to 22. And why is that in the yard? Hey, there's a land.
Yeah, do I have to go...
I'll do it.
Here's Thalia. I think we might see John tanking on whether or not he wants to force will this Thalia. Considering that people have not untapped. There we see the Deathrite getting exiled. Thalia maybe resolving. I definitely approve of Greg's choice of basic planes. Yep, that's a Force of Will on the Thalia. John dropping to 21 from that Force of Will.
Force of Will Thalia?
Yeah.
21, you say.
21.
So life seems to be at the same, Greg. Did you not change it?
I did not change it. I was waiting for you to do it.
Charlotte Station coming in for 2 here, knocking Greg down to 18. A bit of an anemic clock, and then just a pass. See if Greg is what Greg's going to follow this up with. Still no third land here.
Revoker probably going to be on Deathrite.
Almost certainly. I don't know what else you would want to name here.
I mean,
it's a Stone Rain.
The other one you could do is Liliana, but
I just don't think you care about Liliana right now.
We just see a decay.
Yeah, and that's pretty great for John because it, if nothing else, it will grow the Goyf. He just wants
grow
to
future Goyfs.
Yeah, grow the Goyf that will certainly be coming up after he Ancestral Visions himself.
Mm-hmm.
John just plays the land and attacks for 4. Attacks for 3. Oop.
Interesting.
Doesn't want to hold up Deathrite.
Yeah, there's the 3rd land, and I wonder.
Ooh, is this? I feel like you don't want to play Wingmare.
I agree.
Greg plays Wingmare. the reason I was I'm not thrilled about this is because I feel like you want to get one of your equipment down sooner.
Yeah, maybe he's anticipating that he can just play Jitte, and if he does that, then he can at least guarantee that his creature's going to get through. The issue with it is that if Greg were to draw the 4th land next turn, he could have played and equipped it to Flickerwisp.
Yep.
Yeah, Flickerwisp just seems like kind of better there.
Creeping Tarpit coming down for John, and that Visions is going to come off suspend next turn.
There is a land.
Stoneforge Mystic is a pretty awesome draw, actually.
Yeah, I wonder if he actually doesn't want to commit something like Jitte this turn because of the Visions coming off. Like, there's a decent chance that John draws like either another Abrupt Decay or a Maelstrom Pulse or something to deal with an equipment.
Yeah.
And in that case, I think I would rather get one of my creatures killed than one of my equipment. Although Greg just kind of have an embarrassment of too much equipment.
Yeah, he just has like also just a million cards in his hand. I think Stoneforge is going to be his best play here, just because it's a card that John has to answer, and it gets his best card, which is Batterskull.
Yeah.
Like, John has to kill the Stoneforge next turn. That's just going to have to happen.
Indeed.
So I think putting him on the spot there, even though he is going to draw 4 cards, is where you want to be. I think right now they're just checking life totals. There's 2 fetch lands, puts John down to 18, and then a Swords on Goyf and a Swords on Deathrite for 4, so 22.
Yeah, Goyf at the time that it was Swords was it was a 3/4, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so it's Swords on Goyf, Swords on Deathrite up to 24, and then fetch, attack, Force of Will.
Mm-hmm.
Here's Stoneforge Mystic, and this is going to go fetch up the last equipment. Now every other Stoneforge is not good. Kind of funny that he's just, normally Stoneforge Mystic is a great target for Flickerwisp.
Yeah, it can still, if one was drawn soon, it could still put equipment in cheaply, but yeah.
It's not going to be that powerful. And blinking, it's just irrelevant at this point.
Yeah, with Death and Taxes, you really don't want to draw the equipment. You want to just tutor for it.
Yep. Shocker! You want to get your card advantage and not get your card advantage.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've seen a lot of games Death and Taxes wins just because they naturally have Jitte.
I've had a lot of hands where I have 2 of my 3 equipment in my opener, and I immediately draw the 3rd piece.
Yeah,
it's great.
It's pretty good.
Not having Brainstorm has costs. And Ancestral Vision's coming off suspend, so John's hand is now flush. Looks like 3 cards in there now, I think, after playing a land.
Yep.
Makes a mana. Ooh, is this Jace?
Could be Activate Target.
Him.
Him for 3. Well, yeah, really gotta hope this hits Batterskull here.
Interesting choosing to use Deathrite instead of...
Well, Deathrite can't attack.
Well, it's instead of the land.
Yeah, I see what you mean. All right,
Let's
hit.
See.
Oh!
Well, there's still Jitte.
Yeah, there is still Jitte, but he needs to draw a land.
Yes, he does.
Whereas before he was fine not drawing a land,
Mm-hmm.
just putting the Battle Skull into play. And there's an attack for 2 with Charlotte's Agent. I mean, John's not out of this yet.
No, and Greg does have 2 Flicker Wisps. That is not a land, but that was a plow, but it does cost 2 because of the Wingmare. Greg might just pass and put in Jitte off of Stoneforge.
I think that'd be fine.
He could also bank on drawing a land at some point and just cast Flicker Wisp. Ooh, also has Sarah Avenger, which is actually very good here against Shardless Agent. Just being a very good blocker.
I think Greg's going to play...
I think he's reconsidering. I actually kind of think that Sarah Avenger is the play.
Just because it can block the Shardless Agent?
Yeah.
Doesn't seem terrible.
It seems better than Flicker Wisp at the moment.
Yep.
Yep.
There's Sarah Avenger. I'll pull up Sarah Avenger here.
I think this card has actually gotten a lot better recently. I think it's very important for the Eldrazi matchup. The next time I play with Death and Taxes, I'm actually probably going to have 2 or 3 of this in my deck. Like 2 is normal. 3, more people are migrating to 3 recently just because it lines up pretty well against the Eldrazi deck.
Yeah, just being a flyer is so critical.
Yeah, and it's your best creature outside of Mirran Crusader at holding equipment, and having Jitte on offense and defense is pretty insane.
It's true. I mean, same with the protection swords, right?
That's
true.
true.
That's
Yeah,
what makes
yeah.
that's what makes Battle Skull so good is that it's so good on offense and defense. All right, are we seeing end step Brainstorm from John? This means he won't be able to Force of Will the Sarah Avenger because it costs 1 mana, along with the exiling card. He's just gonna attack. I think we're gonna see Tarpit come in this turn. You might as well do it while you still can.
Yeah, Tarpit's pretty awesome. I wonder what John hit off of that Ancestral Vision. Seems like just a lot of air.
And a Force of Will.
Sure.
Force of Will, basically air. We'll see what John can put together here. Find himself a way out of this.
Yeah, he's just so ahead on mana. Like, he can just bully Greg.
Just casting as many spells as possible per turn.
Yeah, here he doesn't have a good attack outside of the Tar Pit, so he can send Greg to 7. And with the remaining turns, I mean, he can just peck away with Deathrite Shaman, it seems like. Greg really needs to draw a land. If he does, nope.
Ugh.
It's just a plow.
It does answer the Deathrite or the Tar Pit, whichever.
I think we might just see an attack from Greg and passing. Because he could either Rishon import the Creeping Tar Pit, he could plow it, he could plow Deathrite. He's a lot of options in that regard.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's best here. Like, this is a...
It's not a great spot.
I would probably Swords right now.
That seems like a fantastic opening.
Given that John didn't have black mana available there, that saves you 4 life.
Yeah.
And that means that John has to connect 3 more times with the Tar Pit to kill you.
Yep. And you have Rishon import as an onboard answer for it.
Yep. Deathrite getting activated on Greg's end step, going down to 5.
Big fan of that Ice Age art on Swords of Plowshares.
Oh yeah, the art's great.
I gotta get 2 more.
Oh.
I'm switching over.
From the OG art?
Yeah.
The Jesus art?
Indeed.
I like them both.
I do too, but black border.
Oh yeah.
Also, Ice Age cards look cool.
Agreed. Right, John trying to figure out how to navigate this, getting the last few points of damage. I mean, he has lethal... Well, he doesn't have lethal on board. He doesn't beat the port here.
Yes. I think that's what Greg is planning on doing.
Porting? Is porting
Yeah.
actually better than swordsing?
Probably not. He could swords his own Vryn Wingmare, but that seems
aggressive?
not advisable.
It's also that, like, he... porting is... Like, the problem now is that he's in such a...
Port is
such a
good
bind.
when you're ahead on mana. Like, he's so far behind on mana that he's just going to keep constraining himself every turn that he doesn't find land in a row on the top of his deck or something.
Yep. Do we We might have the life totals wrong for John. I feel like we missed a Sarah Avenger attack, but
Last turn, there was a hit for 5.
John tapping 3 mana
John
here.
might be at 10.
There's Liliana of the Veil.
Oof.
That's actually that costs 4 mana.
Some few sloppy things here so far. I think if I am Greg, I'm letting my Wingmare go. Maybe it's Stoneforge, but it seems like actually like Wingmare is maybe hurting Greg more than John at the moment. Just being so constrained on mana. Jeez. All right, John paying the 4th mana there for Lily, and Greg has to decide what to get rid of. Yeah, Hippodactyl, I think we might have missed the Sarah Avenger attack. Did you check the life total?
Nope. No, I did not.
Cool.
Say nothing.
For anyone
Nope,
who wasn't aware, Phil almost fell over.
Nope, I'm great.
All right, so Greg does let
Ooh, boy.
the Vryn Wingmare go. Now, activation of Stoneforge, putting in Umezawa's Jitte.
Boop.
And I think this is going to be Swords to Plowshares on Tarmogoyf.
Yeah, I think so too. Goyf is real big right now, right?
Yeah, I'm going to run out and check life totals after this.
Sure. Land, instant, sorcery, creature, artifact. I think that's it. I think it's 5. Goyf is also supposed to be exiled. We'll see what these life totals are in a second and make sure they're correct. I have to think that this Sarah Avenger is going to get suited up here, but that is going to expose him a little bit to the Creeping Tar Pit.
15 to 5.
Is John at 15?
Yes.
Wow, I didn't change anything, and that was the life total. That was pretty lucky. By the way, that Tarmogoyf isn't exiled. It should be. It's fine.
Well, not if it is the thing that gets...
Death Righted? That's the Death Right's just going to die this turn.
Let's hope so.
I wonder if John attacks Liliana.
I don't
Sorry,
know
if
what's
Greg attacks
happening.
Liliana or John. Yeah, just attacks him. I like this.
Yeah.
Put you to 12, get 2 counters. It might just kill Death right now.
Yes. I think that is advisable.
See? It's fine.
If Greg wins this game...
Pretty impressive.
That is nuts. I mean, John has bricked off pretty hard, I think.
Yeah, his hand right now is land, Force of Will.
Jeez.
He could put Greg to 2. And it's still not quite enough.
With the tar pit, yeah.
He just can't race this Jitte. He needs to draw Abrupt Decay.
He does.
Yeah, I like him playing this land. This Force of Will's worth nothing at this point.
But he needs to tick up.
Yeah. I'm saying discard the Force of Will instead
You
of the
could have
land.
ticked up and discarded the Delta.
Yeah.
He still had a counterspell.
I don't think that's good. He's attacking this turn.
Okay.
Putting Greg to 2, and now it's just... Do we draw a Decay? Gotta decay this Jitte real soon.
That was a Flagstones of Trocare drawn for Greg.
Woo! Powerful. Powerful stuff.
Yeah,
You like Flagstones?
I do. So I think it is time to kill Liliana.
You think so? Yeah, I guess so. All
Yeah.
right, Liliana out of here. Jitte's just so good.
It is great. Oh, has Thalia in hand.
Thalia seems pretty excellent here. Ooh.
I think we're going to see Flicker Wisp, Blink the Rishin port.
Yeah, I think so too. Flickerist, John has no cards in hand. Blink my Rishin port. Pass. Rishin port comes back. And it's your turn. And at some point this tar pit's going to get ported. Probably only when it gets activated.
Mm-hmm.
John draws, and if we don't find a decay soon, we're just going to die to the Sarah Avenger.
Indeed. Brainstorm.
Brainstorm. This is sort of a desperation 0 cards in hand brainstorm. See if we find a removal spell. Pulse or Decay will do it. At least buy him a little bit of time, but he's still he's not favored in any sense.
Yeah, the issue now is just behind on board. I mean, he's ahead on the life total race, but just really has Tar Pit in terms of a threat.
Yep. So I'm going to fetch here, pick up a 3rd Underground Sea. See if you found anything powerful here. I mean,
best draws would probably...
Shardless
well,
Agent?
if there's a main deck like Deluge, that'd be pretty good.
Baleful Strix. They don't really do much here.
Yeah, Baleful Strix probably going to get killed by Jitte, I presume.
We have a redraw. Shardless Agent?
That's pretty good.
Liliana.
Ooh, I think Stoneforge is going to bite the dust.
I think so too. Liliana minusing. Stoneforge. Squire is dead.
Yep. Squire's work is done.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't really do much.
No, it did not. I don't think this Baleful Strix is not of haste.
Yeah.
Greg just gonna end step port the Tar Pit for value.
Yeah, not much reason not to do that.
Kill the Baleful Strix. Draws.
Draws Mother of Runes
Seems
to
great.
go along with Thalia in hand.
I think playing Thalia is a little better than playing Mother of Runes here. I could be wrong. Mother of Runes is probably better.
Yeah, I think Mana's better.
Probably just
And-
don't. Yeah, I think you play Mom, and just attack John twice.
Looks like both are going at John.
A Liliana on 1 is just not scary.
I think you play the Mother of Runes.
I think so too.
Like, I think you're playing one of these cards and your other one's going to get discarded to Lily. Yeah. I like how Greg has played this.
Yep. I don't think Greg's gonna. I think Greg's gonna find a way out of this. I don't think John has an out at this point. Deluge doesn't even do it anymore. He can only Deluge for 4,
Yes.
and Jitte will let him save the Sarah Avenger from that.
Yep. Jitte is a messed up card. Oh, plays both. Okay. So yeah, I mean, it looks like...
oh yeah, he has the...
Yeah, he can always gain life from the Jitte.
Yeah.
So it's actually fine.
Yeah. Wasteland your board.
Your board. I think we're going to see an attack and hope that Greg does not see the life gain ability.
Or you could just kill it.
Yes. Could also kill it.
-1. -1. Is it gain 2? No, he's just gonna kill it. And that's it.
All right.
Greg taking down game 1 here in a grindy affair. Greg, it took a long time for Greg to draw out of that mana screw.
He was very... Him to Turok.
Ugh. I hate getting himmed.
Yeah.
It feels so bad.
It felt like what we saw in that game was screw beating Flood.
Yeah, the classic. I mean, honestly, these are the kind of games that like Shardless still tends to win because of
Ancestral Visions.
yes.
Or like Jace. Gibbous. Shardless Bug typically doesn't run Deed. They usually, I think, run a couple copies of Toxic Deluge.
I've seen Deed like very rarely.
Yeah. I think Deluge is usually like one main, one board.
Maybe.
Pretty common.
Either that
like,
or just one board.
Yeah, one board.
Definitely haven't always seen it in the main deck.
Cards I would expect out of John's sideboard include Golgari Charm.
Oh yeah.
Most likely.
Crows and Grip maybe.
Maybe.
Null Rod.
Null Rod would be a good one. Any sort of artifact hating.
Disfigure.
Yeah.
Do you think he has a Virtues Rune in the sideboard?
Hopefully not.
Let's pull up Virtues Rune. Have you ever had this card cast against you?
I have not had the pleasure.
God, the art is awesome.
It is awesome.
But yeah, this seems terrible. I've been perished.
Yeah.
I've been perished playing elves,
Mm-hmm.
and it doesn't feel good. But yeah, this is a nice one.
No.
I should just start playing this in my sideboard instead
TX
of
Rager, Null Rod does do stuff.
no, it does no.
What?
It does nothing.
Okay. Oh, this is like something you say.
No, it's the flavor text of the card.
Oh.
It doesn't do anything. No.
All right.
It does nothing. Let's pull up Null Rod.
Jesus.
How do you not know the flavor text of Null Rod, which is a real sentence I just said?
Yeah, you've
right
also said this flavor text like within the past 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So I should have remembered.
Yeah. This is very good flavor. This is. I wouldn't say it's very good, but it's very very popular.
Yeah.
Everyone knows it. Everyone, Greg.
Except me.
Yep. That's all right.
So I'm a dunk.
Yep.
Cards that looks like Greg is looking at to board out. Huh. So, yeah, taking out Wingmare makes a decent amount of sense because you want to probably board out some X1s.
I don't like Wingmare that much.
I do. Huh, he also had Ethersworn Canister.
He shuffled his whole sideboard in.
Ah. Okay.
That's why you see the rest in peace.
I mean, Rest in Peace is a slam dunk, but I think
Ooh, Path is great. Keep
Path
going.
is great.
Keep going.
So the whole thing that I was saying earlier about Revoker coming out against Charlotte's Bug, that is not my thought. That was not what I was doing originally when I was playing this deck. This is what Mark Koenig suggests.
Interesting. Because
He
I didn't think it was that bad.
He just doesn't want to play that kind of game. And really, you want to be boarding in stuff like Leaf Liege for this matchup. Oh god, that's a return to the ranks.
I knew it. I was gonna ask.
All right. Something Greg Ivy does: play weird cards. He's also boarding out Sarah Avenger, which I actually think this is like one of Sarah Avenger's better matchups because you just don't want X1s. Like the way that I lose this matchup typically is I get Golgari charmed.
Yeah, you just get sweepered right out of the game.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see how the second game goes, but if Greg does get Golgari charmed, I have to imagine he'll switch it up. I think the last card he went with was Ethersworn Canonist.
Canonist is okay. It's probably better.
I don't like it.
I was gonna say it's probably better than Revoker, but it's probably not.
Yeah,
I think both are pretty bad.
I think Revoker is better. I think Revoker has more upside.
So cards that I think I would want Leaf Liege. I would want Cataclysm. I would want Rest in Peace. I might want like a Council's Judgment.
Yeah. Council's Judgment seems fine.
Just like give yourself an out to a Lily that's wrecking you.
I like it. I think like just having another removal spell is good. Yeah, is there a good flavor text you remember?
Captain QC, I really don't keep track of flavor text.
Wow.
I have favorite art, if that helps.
It doesn't help.
Okay.
It's embarrassing.
Wait, I remember the flavor text on Totally Lost being funny.
It's about Fibblethip?
Yeah.
But you don't remember what it is.
No, it's just like... It just says Fibblethip on it.
Yes, yeah, it does mention his name, which is in fact Fibblethip.
Can we check Totally Lost real quick?
No.
Okay. Maybe between rounds.
What about Gorilla Titan?
Gorilla Titan?
Yeah.
Is that even a card?
Of
I
course.
thought it was Gorilla Shaman.
No, that's another card.
What?
Gorilla Titan is, I want a banana this big, and
Oh
it's
my
him holding his
God.
arms out. Let's just do this one for Greg.
Oh, no. Well then. Ooh, turn 1 Aether Vial for Greg. And there's a Pithing Needle. I wonder what that's aiming. Oh, another thing I've done in this matchup before is board out 1 Vial.
Sure, I like that.
Because you're kind of playing against a Jund deck, and in that sense, you don't really...
Ooh, yeah.
You don't necessarily want all of your
Bad top decks.
Yeah. And this could get kind of messy for Greg. Like, he has Rest in Peace, which is great and all, but that can be answered with Abrupt Decay, whereas Vial kind of needs to be on now for it to be great.
Yeah, especially, he's just has to hope John doesn't draw Wasteland.
Yeah, that would be disastrous.
The thing is, like, John is really bad at pressuring Greg without Goyf.
This is true.
Yeah, 1. Get in there, Sanctuary Cat.
Here's Shardless Agent. Nope,
Liliana.
Liliana. Ooh.
That's going to be going up. Will Leaf Leaf doesn't have it.
Yeah. Will Leaf Liege would have been insane right there.
To put it mildly.
Put it in, kill your Liliana.
Win the game.
Yeah, there's another Vial.
Ugh. Right on time.
You can play a Plow, or you can play Thalia and let it get eaten.
Or Mother of Rinzlin get eaten.
Yeah, a lot of really bad options here for Greg.
Nothing looks good. This Liliana is a problem.
It is.
I think it's just going to work, Greg. Like, the Swords isn't even good. You don't even really care about killing the Death, right?
Yeah. I mean, this hand was very predicated on Vial, and the Needle is just insane. Just passes.
All right, John going to put his visions down to 1 and draw a card. Doesn't have a lot going on, but this Liliana is pretty problematic.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see if we can put together anything here. I'm not sure how long it'll take John to win the game with this Rest in Peace, but like eventually he's gonna draw Decay. They always draw the decay. Hey, look, he drew a decay.
Yeah, there goes rest in peace.
Oh, this is going to be swords in response.
Sure, just to make sure all of the cards are out.
What if he just misdirected it? Yeah, so swords your death right. It's going to put John to 20.
So the rest in peace.
The decay goes to the yard, the rest in peace does not.
Yes.
That is correct. Yeah, the way they have it is fine.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think this Liliana's going to tick up.
Yeah, a good draw here for Greg. Well, the problem is that he needs lands and different spells than the ones he has.
Ooh, there's a brainstorm from John. This is... His next turn's going to be pretty great.
Yeah, I don't know if Greg can come back from this without dedicated cards like Woolly Liege.
Yeah, I think John's just trying to draw... he's just going to plus his Liliana and discard the card he drew off brainstorm. Shardless Agent. Wow. The cards on top of his deck must be insane. if that's the card he's discarding.
I wonder if he's just planning on ulting.
I think so. I mean, what, ulting is like fine.
It's a Stone Rain.
Yeah, I think it's just plus forever. Plus,
Sure.
plus, and then minus as needed.
Yeah.
Like John is drawing 4 cards
Yeah,
this
you
turn.
just kill every creature. I mean, Greg doesn't have enough mana to deploy 2 creatures in one turn.
Mm-hmm. All right, porting John off green this turn. Ancestral Visions targeting John. Unfortunately, no Spirit of the Labyrinths to be found.
What a shame.
Right? Notion Thief is what I prefer. John drawing him. God, I hate getting hemmed. Getting hemmed is the worst.
It's not great.
But casting him is the best. Wow, did you know that Null Rod is a $32 card?
Yeah, it spiked recently.
What in the hell?
Reserve list.
What's your favorite? What's your favorite him art?
I like the one, not the wolf. I like the wolf. They're all good. I like that one.
The Procession.
Yes.
This is a true hymn. Really, 4 people standing in a circle.
Yeah, this is one I am a big fan of. If I ever was inclined to play a Hymn to Turok deck, this is the one that I would use.
Great.
But I will never do that. There goes Thali and Mom.
And the last one being kept. See if it's going to be good enough. I bet. Oh no, he discarded the Vial. I was going to assume that it was Vial.
Well, there's
It's always
Mirror
Vial.
Crusader. I think I would concede rather than show that.
Yeah.
Because that is basically Greg's best card in the matchup.
Definitely.
Outside of, like Rest in Peace or whatever.
Yeah. I like. This one's pretty good.
They're all good.
Old dude, but this is my favorite.
They're all good. There's
Yeah.
no wrong answer.
There's a wrong answer.
What is it?
Yours. No. That is the wrong answer. Thank you. 3 mana here, and there's a Shardless Agent.
Let's see Abrupt Decay.
Port you in response. John gonna fetch. It's porting your fetch land.
Yeah,
You do cast Decay if you hit it, right? Just Decay the Vial
might as well.
in case Greg draws a... This is, by the way, this is another reason to have a card like Council's Judgment in your deck.
Yes.
Needle and similarly Null Rod.
Yeah, although at the moment I would be more interested in Council's Judgmenting the Liliana than the Needle.
Yeah, it's got multi-purpose, but
Yeah.
it fulfills many rules.
Mm-hmm.
See what we hit. It's Baleful Strix. This is probably where I would want to pack it in.
Yep. For the sake of time and round, we're looking at going into Game 3 with under 12 minutes left in all likelihood at this rate.
John ticking up Liliana here, discarding Tropical Island versus Greg's Sarah Avenger, just going to pass it back. Greg still has Mirror Crusader, which he can play here, but it's just going to die to Liliana.
Yeah, I would concede.
Same. Yep, there's Mirror Crusader. John doesn't even care.
This is taking some time, though.
All right, John going to untap and draw.
I think Greg just turned around and looked at the clock. We might see him pack it in.
No, he's facing the... no, he's not facing the clock.
Yeah.
Let's see if John wants to do this turn. He's going to Ultimate Lily.
Okay. How do you want to divide them? So Aether Vial can go with probably... Sure. Spells or lands, your go.
Pretty sure you keep Mirror Crusader.
I think I would pick up all of my cards.
Mirror Crusader versus lands. I'll take Mirror Crusader.
You can kill the Liliana.
Maybe. Attack for 1.
What would stop it?
Another Liliana.
Okay.
That's probably it. Toxic Deluge for 2.
Or that.
And we're good here. I kind of like that. He got it. See, that way, by ultimating the Lily, he didn't just kill the Mirror Crusader, he also Stone Rained him 3 times.
Correct.
He also Armageddon him. Alright, going to game 3 here. Greg going to be on the play. We'll see if he can put something together to beat Sean's draw. Greg has to go to the bathroom, apparently, so we're going to take a quick break. Greg almost got perfected.
Almost.
John putting him down to 1 permanent that didn't do anything.
So?
It's almost there. 2 permanents, you only had the vial.
I scooped the deluge on the stack.
So according to Greg, he scooped with Deluge on the stack.
I saw it.
I certainly don't believe it.
Thank you, the Iron Chef Bobby Flay, for the follow.
Yeah,
I
say it out loud just like that.
I imagine that you are actually that person. So welcome, Bobby Flay.
Did you also thank Thermonk?
I did.
Good, thank you, Greg.
Thurman C.
That's probably a
Thermonk? I said both. I wasn't sure which was correct.
Do get to see a game 3 here between these 2 players, though. This is a extremely grindy matchup. And we just saw like
can be, yeah.
we just saw like 2 games where Greg, took a long time to draw a land.
Yes.
Getting the vial needled was pretty savage, though.
Yes, it was.
I mean, I don't know what you're supposed to do in that spot. I mean, like, I can't imagine John has many needles in his sideboard.
I would guess that there's exactly 1.
Probably 1. But that's fine. We'll see how these sort of things look in game 3.
Things that I would watch out for if I was John. Something that I think a lot of shardless players do is just blindly tick up their Lily when they don't necessarily have to.
Yeah, that's how you get Wiltleaf Leaged.
It is. Not all Death and Taxes players are playing Wiltleaf Liege at this point.
No.
Like, for example, I don't think that Greg is.
I don't think so. He does have the Council's Judgment. There was definitely a Mastery of the Unseen in the sideboard. And a Grand Abolisher? That's what that is, right?
Yeah.
Return to the ranks. You got some goofy ones in Greg's sideboard, I gotta say. I think that Council's Judgment should definitely be in his deck.
I agree. There might be 1 already in the deck if he has 2 in the sideboard.
Gravedigger's Cage, 2
I think
Cataclysm.
this is a good matchup for Cataclysm.
You think so? Why do you say that?
Gets rid of Liliana and Jace.
Does kill them. Do you not worry about, like, leaving them with, like, Goyf? Something?
If I'm leaving myself with Rest in Peace.
Rest in Peace gets sacrificed.
Why?
Cataclysm.
That's my 1 enchantment.
You choose an enchantment with that card?
I believe so.
I thought it was just artifact. I thought it was just artifact, creature, and land.
Mm-mm.
And enchantment?
Oh yeah, man.
And enchantment. I always forget that's on the card. Actually, I would say every single time I think about this card, I forget a part of it.
That seems likely.
I
think this card is quite good against Shardless Bug.
Interesting.
I mean, there are obviously situations where it can be awkward, because that's kind of what the card lends itself to. Like, the card is either a 0 or a 10, you know?
I have a quick aside for anyone who's for TX Rager. Anyone who says that Dredge is not Magic. Dredge is, to quote Adam Prozac, Dredge is the most Magic. It is the most Magic deck because you take a game because Magic is the only game where you can do something completely different like that.
Yeah.
It's the only game where you can do that. You can't do that in Hearthstone. You can't do that in these other games. Like, you have just completely changed how you play versus your opponent, and yet you're still playing the same game. And that is there's a big difference. Oh, sorry, they have 14 minutes left.
All right, so it looks like maybe an extension was involved here, and maybe the round also started a bit later.
Right. I think they just got an extension because of the
Sure.
feature match. All right, both players look at their opening 7s here. Greg does have lands.
Oh, that's a lot of lands.
That seems like a mulligan.
That is, in fact, a mulligan.
Let's see if if he decides to keep this. That's pretty aggressive. He does.
Okay.
He does. He's gonna get. If he gets him, he's pretty well set up.
Unless his Stoneforge gets taken. Well,
well,
presumably he will have already cast.
I wonder if John has disfigure.
Draws Sarah Avenger. And he's choosing to not play Stoneforge.
Interesting.
Wow.
He's just gonna port John.
And he's going to Wasteland next turn.
I don't hate that. I don't hate just being mana. It's really awkward without a vial.
This line is extremely risky because if there is
A
a
Deathrite.
Deathrite, it completely ruins the plan.
I guess his thought is just like, he didn't have Death on turn 1. He just has to draw it this turn. Could be wrong though. Let's see if John finds. If he has like a ponder here, that'd be something different. Fetches Underground Sea. I think this is Deathrite. No, it's just suspend. This is completely fine if you're Greg.
Yeah, that's one of the best possible things you could see.
Greg drawing a Thalia.
I think Thalia plus Wasteland. This
Yeah,
turn.
I think playing Thalia is better than porting. See if Greg agrees. He does.
Certainly looks like it.
Does this get Force of Willed? I think John has a Disfigure in his hand.
I think I would have liked playing the Wasteland after. You're not playing against a Dazed deck.
Yeah. That makes sense. I see what you mean. John does have the land, so he can Disfigure this turn if he's interested. Have to think he doesn't want to let this Thalia stick around too long. He does have a Liliana as well, I believe.
This hand is working out for Greg because, in part, drawing 2 spells to start the game.
It's true, but the disruptive lands are really good against Shardless.
They are.
The deck is, almost exclusively non-basics, so you're already very exposed to Wasteland, and it's mana hungry. So Deathrite is so important in the deck.
Disfigure for 2 mana.
Yep, that's fine. I think you're just fine with that exchange.
Yeah, now it looks like Greg's next turn draws Flicker Wisp. I think it's just Stoneforge, though.
I think so, too.
Stoneforge probably for Batterskull.
Yeah. Like, if you get him this turn, then you get him. That's fine. Just hope they don't hit your Batterskull.
Yeah, and it also gives him a pretty juicy Flicker Wisp target down the line, potentially.
Yeah, I mean, since he has 4 lands, next turn playing it and, holding up Port is, not the worst thing in the world.
No.
But, yeah, obviously being able to Flicker this would be ideal. If trying to have something like Disfigure plus him, then we're in a rough spot. He might. He definitely has the him. And Brainstorm. So there's a 3rd land. He's going to fetch, actually, the 4th land.
So is this Liliana?
Liliana will be pretty great here.
Yeah.
Just making sure that he's not going to get hit by a Batterskull next turn.
I don't know what else it would be.
Well,
So if it was him, I don't know why you'd fetch first.
it is him.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4,
It's gonna
5.
fade Batterskull getting hit.
And the 1 reroll, and the 1 reroll, and a 3. All right, got 1 card, and another card, and 2 lands.
That
Best possible.
best possible.
This is why you keep this hand, because they're just gonna him 2 lands out of you.
I mean, I respect the fact that you really don't want to get. You don't want a mulligan against the him deck.
That was a Mishra's Factory, wasn't it?
It was.
I like that card.
Yeah. What's his name? Michael Derzo.
Usually plays 1 or 2.
So Michael Derzo in the past couple of years is the person who's had the best finishes with Death and Taxes in the world. And all right, so if this is Flicker Wisp, Blinking Plains. This makes sense because this still leaves Greg mana to activate activate Stoneforge, put it in Batterskull.
Yep.
But yeah, Michael Derzo plays a 1 of Mishra's Factory.
Seems good. I like it.
It's a little aggressive. I think he does it instead of Cavern, perhaps. It decreases his white count slightly.
I'm sorry if all you can hear is my laugh, by the way. I'm not that sorry, but
Yeah.
I am a little sorry.
A little. I mean, Mishra's Workshop looks pretty sweet here.
Factory.
Factory.
Definitely
sorry.
not Mishra's Workshop.
Would not be good in this deck.
No, it wouldn't. There we go. Let's get this one. I have the winter one in my cube. It's the best art. Oh, yeah. Ben, you told me about that. It's pretty delightful.
What's the card that you changed, Ben?
He didn't play Sword of War and Peace.
Yeah?
Ooh, engineered play coming down and naming Elemental? Is that what Flicker Wisp is?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it's dead.
It is dead, but Batterskull is not.
Unfortunately, didn't name Germ.
Well, it wouldn't kill the germ. And that was another Flicker Wisp.
Yeah, you make it a 3/3 though.
Saravenger in play. In hand, rather. I wonder, is this a turn to activate Factory and get in for a lot?
I think it is.
Well, it does not have Vigilance. Okay.
Nope. Attack force 7 here.
Yeah, put John at 10. I wonder if Greg is also going to commit his Saravenger to the table.
I think I would have been tempted to not activate the factory and just hold up. Well, sorry, activate the factory and play and port instead of playing the Saravenger, because now we're a little exposed to a toxic deluge.
You're actually extremely exposed to a toxic deluge. And also, this is the turn that Ancestral Visions is coming off. So John has a lot of looks at the deluge. It doesn't seem like he has it, though, based on him fetching.
What if he just has a damnation?
Oh, so Feingersh played a Gideon Ally of Zendikar.
Gideon Ally of Zendikar.
In
I
your
remember
Thalia deck.
his reasoning was that it's good against miracles.
If you can resolve it.
Well, I mean, if you could resolve it. I mean, it's a 4-drop. It's hard to counterbalance.
You can force a will it.
They can force to will anything. Don't give me your bad arguments, Greg.
It's like, you have to also be able to cast it in your Thalia deck.
Okay, you sound like a bit of a hater right now. Abrupt Decay, taking down both the Saravenger and the Germ token.
Well,
see if Greg has the land.
You can still Flicker Wisp the Batterskull.
I think that's what we're going to see here.
Oh, yeah.
And a Revoker. Revoker doesn't really do much here. Flicker Wisp, of course, will immediately die.
Yeah, but it's, you're basically playing it as a germ. Does that make you happy, Phil?
A little bit, yeah.
I think this is... So, Greg has to be very careful how he proceeds here.
I think I like Flicker Wisp. Like his other options are to just like return the return the Batterskull and then like activate Stoneforge the next turn, but it just takes I think that takes too long.
Yeah, I think Flicker Wisp Blinking Batterskull is basically the best it's getting.
The card, I mean, he's not going to be able to remove this Engineered Plague. He didn't board in the Council's Judgment.
Yeah. So, yeah, Blink Batterskull.
He's like, yeah. State-based effects, Flicker Wisp immediately dies.
Now he attacks for 1. John goes to 8.
9. Oh, 8, excuse me.
Batterskull comes back with a germ.
That's a great use of 3 mana. 3 mana gives you a 4/4 Vigilance Lifelinker.
That was another Abrupt Decay for John.
Well, it's preventing the onslaught from continuing.
He can Abrupt Decay the germ plus play Tarmogoyf, perhaps? Not sure how big the Goyf is.
Very.
But the other thing is that one more land lets Greg just put Batterskull onto Stoneforge. It also lets him bounce Batterskull and redeploy it immediately.
Yep. So this Decay is going to be going after something here. I mean, if he has... Like, Goyf would be the best possible thing to pair it with, because Goyf forces Greg to either move the Batterskull, which makes the Decay better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like Goyf here is excellent. What was this
Fetching.
saying? I wonder what 3 mana is. This a Liliana? Liliana would also be good.
Liliana. You have a choice then between Stoneforge and Mishra's Workshop or Factory.
Keep saying it.
I will try.
Mishra's Factory.
Well, it can't be Liliana. Okay, Shardless Agent.
Ooh. Well,
how big are these Tarmogoyfs? Let's see.
Creature.
Land.
Instant. Sorcery. Standard 4/5.
No artifacts.
Yep, standard 4/5.
Yeah, it's normal.
There it is.
Very normal.
I'm going to tap from Greg here. He has drawn no Swords to Flashers this game. He does have a Revoker, but that doesn't really do much here. He could name it a name like Liliana. If that's even good. He really wants to draw a flyer.
Yeah.
I kind of like playing the Revoker just because it's a little bit of insulation. Like, you can also still mana deny him. You're not quite taking him off green.
So he's thinking about whether or not to attack with the Batterskull. Alright, so he's just gaining 4.
Going up to 28.
Now...
He's just going to put it back into play immediately. That factory is not upside down. It's tapped. Well, it is upside down. There we go. Yeah, this is not a cheap monocolored deck, Garok.
Well, the price might be coming down if a lot of the pieces get reprinted in Eternal Masters.
We don't know.
We don't know.
We'll find out. There's Death Shaman. I mean, there's a card you can name.
Rest in Peace would be an insane draw.
Needless to say. I mean, John does have the decay for it, but the damage would already be done.
What was that?
Swords
to Plowshares.
Not bad. Ooh, decay in
This
Greg's
is
draw step.
3 Abrupt Decays.
Gotta just let that one happen. I think this is going to be just Revoker naming
Deathrite
Shaman.
Yeah, I don't know what else you would do. Yeah, Greg's in a tough spot until he can draw a flyer.
Wasteland, Wasteland's not even good here too. Neither is Port. Like, you're not stopping him from casting any of his spells because he has triple black and triple blue, quad blue.
Yep.
Quad blue, and triple green. Yeah, so here's Phyrexian Revoker. Be shocked if this is naming anything other than Deathrite Shaman. Well, you pointed to it. It's Deathrite Shaman.
Okay.
And then just to pass back, there's a Brainstorm. Not a huge fan of this Brainstorm from John. I feel like it's really safe to just untap and go to your turn.
Yeah, you just give you one more card to put back.
A brain like this is me. I don't think this is hyperbole when I say a Brainstorm with 2 cards in hand is twice as good as a Brainstorm with 1 card in hand.
Yep.
Like, legitimately, especially with a fetch land. So a little bit too, I think, too aggressive on John's side there.
Agreed.
Might be a consequence of the clock being so low.
Maybe.
3 mana here. Ooh, if this is a Toxic Deluge. It
Yep.
is. For 4,
Okay.
that'd be pretty nuts.
I mean, Greg is able to pick up the... Like, this also kills a chunk of John's board.
Just the Deathrite and the Charlotte's Agent.
Yes.
I assume. Yeah, he did it for 4.
Yeah. Also to note, if John attacks with these Tarmogoyfs, Greg might be able to eat one with...
Mistress Factory?
Yes.
Yes, that is true.
If he so desires.
I think that's way better than returning Batterskull.
Yeah.
That means that are we frozen?
It seems like we're frozen. Not sure if things are frozen for everyone at home.
Let us know if you're frozen. We're frozen right now. The clock is still moving, but the picture is frozen for us. I have no idea what's going on. Yeah, tap the computer. That's what's gonna fix it.
Well, that's frustrating. Alright, so we're having a bit of a technical difficulty in the back here. Our camera is currently frozen. Thank you guys in the chat. Yeah, we're trying to get this fixed. Phil has already rolled up his sleeves. I'm going to leave it on this screen just so we can see if it becomes unfrozen. Don't want to miss that. Man, yeah, this was a pretty good game too. It's unfortunate that we are missing some of the turns at the end of it. And as we're moving towards the end of round 2, I just want to call out MTGCardmarket, which is the store in which this tournament is being held. We're located in Chicago, Illinois, and we stream Wednesdays and Thursdays. Wednesdays are Modern at 7:30 Central Time, and Thursdays at the same time, but Legacy, which is tonight. And hopefully we get our picture back so we can watch the end of this game. Captain QC telling us that when you get a picture frozen like that, it can mean that your camera is disconnected. Let's see. I don't think it would disconnect on this end. It's probably down on the table. I'm gonna look at some things over here and see if it's gonna get fixed. Ugh. unplug and replug the USB. All right, we can try that. Thank you, Captain QC.
Is it not working?
Oh no.
Move.
Yeah.
Do you want to plug it and plug it back in?
I did.
What's it showing?
The same thing.
Did you go back to the booth?
No, because I want to be able
Go
to
back
see
to
if
the
the
booth.
picture
Go back to the booth.
switches.
No. Oh, come on. Booth
What?
overlay.
Hmm?
Yep, fixed it.
Oh my god.
I'm great. Everybody's great.
All right.
We fixed it.
Who
Sorry.
won that game, by the way?
Greg won because John was at 2. He attacked, and Greg just untapped and attacked him with Mishra's Factory and killed him. John was at 1 less life than we thought.
Okay.
Do you know who we're going to watch now?
Brenna.
Yeah!
Also with RU sleeves. Oh, nice against Kyle.
Yes.
That's dope.
I'm excited for this. I just want to see Jory N draw a million cards.
I don't.
Why?
I want to see Thalia give Kyle the business.
The business. I mean, this is, I think, a hard matchup.
For Grixis.
Yes. When I played the version with Dig Through Time, which is a much better card than Painful Truths,
Yeah.
I felt not significantly disadvantaged, but definitely disadvantaged. There's just like a lot of things to fight through.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty frustrating.
Yeah, it seems like our camera's getting very
What, jostled?
glitchy.
I think it's all right. Grixis Pyromancer?
Kevin 12X, Greg Ivy wound up winning that game, apparently.
Yeah, sorry about the
The
video issues.
the freezing.
Don't know what's going on with that. But yeah, we got more Death and Taxes coming at you. More Thalia.
I approve. So Kyle Norman is playing Grixis Pyromancer with 1 copy of Jory N.
Ruin Diver.
Can we bring that little gem up?
Yes, this mermaid wizard.
Merfolk.
Sorry, I misspoke.
No respect. Some really great art there.
Jorian's awesome. I like Jorian a lot. I think this is like a card that was built to be played as like a one-of in these value decks.
I wish it was a 3/3.
Great. I wish it was a 5/5.
I understand, but I think I don't know. It just seems a little underpowered.
Does it? I feel like giving it more power is just like asking it. Like, this is a card that is pushed.
Kind of.
What do you mean?
It's like kind of pushed. Ooh, there's Aether Vial.
And no Force of Will from Kyle. Right off the top. And he had the Spell Pierce too, so if he was on the play,
Yes.
we've gotten to see something. We see a Probe, land, Mom, Swords, Port. Not a great hand.
This is the nut draw of Vial into Port.
The nut draw?
Yeah.
Oh my god. What is, like...
You draw any nonsense creature, and this hand is just fantastic.
Or a Wasteland. Is that a Murderous Cut? It is, isn't it?
No, it's a Gurmag Angler.
There's an Angler in this? I see the Sultai symbol. I was like, this definitely a Murderous Cut. You're wrong.
Is it?
Yeah, you're way wrong.
Alright.
Doesn't have... Where do you see the mouth?
I don't know. It's very dark. It's foil.
Oh, goodness.
Maybe it's Murder's Cut. I guess you could main deck one.
Kyle's got the counter. With, oops. With the fetch land here. Another fetch land for Kyle. Doesn't look like he has much else going on. He's got a Brainstorm. He's got a Port.
A lot of air.
Probe again. Let's see what Brenna drew. She drew basic planes. Speaking of air, Kyle gets to untap and draw a Bolt. That was a pretty excellent draw, actually.
What?
Bolt.
Yes.
I mean, otherwise he was going to have to go and Murderous Cut this 1/1.
Mm-hmm.
Now he just gets to use a lightning bolt.
Indeed.
And there are a lot of copies of Painful Truths in this deck. I like it. Painful Truths is great. How do you not get excited about Painful Truths? Mother of Runes comes in play. It gets bolted. Pass back. Brenna ticks up her vial to 2. She at least has a port target now. Pass back to Kyle. Port on his upkeep. He draws. Finds Young Pyro. Now we feel a little bad for burning both those probes.
Sort of, but he had to dig for the answer to the Mother of Runes.
Yeah, I think it was correct. It just feels kind of bad now
Sure.
that you have this Pyromancer in play. We'll see if he decides to play it this turn. This is kind of awkward. I think he's just going to pass back and wait until he has a spell. Because he knows that Brenna has a swords.
Yeah.
He doesn't really want to blow a Force of Will, I think, on that Swords to Plowshares.
He might have a spot where he can play Pyromancer and maybe Spell Pierce, a removal spell.
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
When's the last time you saw Badlands? Also, this is the Badlands Tropical Island special. Ooh, Kolagon's Command. That's a nice one.
Is very good in this matchup.
It is. It is extremely good.
It is absurd against fair decks.
I would almost pass in the hopes that a 3-drop was on the way. Although, Mirror Crusader does make fun of you pretty bad in that spot.
This is the spot where Pyromancer's a lot better because this is going to get Spell Pierced. Yep. Kyle kind of walked Brenna into this one.
Yeah.
But, I mean, this is kind of what Probe lets you do.
Yes. Probe is a really unfair card. There's a Spell Pierce.
Blood Moon would be good right now. Ooh, second one.
And Brenna just drew another Swords to Plowshares.
I wonder if Kyle's going to Force of Will.
I don't think he is.
I think he might. Yep.
He does?
He has answers for creatures, and Brenna has Vial anyway, so you're not countering much. And it speeds up your clock a lot. I don't know, it seems fine.
Flicker was kill a token?
Yep.
Yep. There's an untap from Brenna. See if she can find some more action here. Maybe any piece of Stoneforge Mystic, I think, would be the best draw at this point.
The best draw that turn would have been Jitte.
Yeah, that's what I was saying by the Stoneforge Mystic
yeah.
coming in. Port going after. Which of these 4 different lands do
Blood
you go
Moon
after?
would be good.
Or Magus of the Moon.
I'd probably go after a non-blue land, honestly.
Ooh, one of them's getting ported, and I think this is the take your 2-for-1 moment with Kolagon's Command.
It's not a guaranteed 2-for-1, because if there's another Flicker Wisp,
Yeah, that's
you're
true.
not actually killing anything. And at that point, you might actually get raced. Ooh,
Destroy
blow
that,
up
two to
Vial and blow up Flicker Wisp.
Yep.
Brenna doesn't have it.
Yep, that's gross. Get another guy.
Oh, yeah.
Is Kyle drawn?
No, that was all upkeep.
He just didn't draw his card for the turn?
Okay.
Did he miss it?
I think so.
I don't know.
I
I'm not
think
going to go out
That
there
was
and
all
check.
upkeep.
Wasteland going after the Tropical Island.
Brenna on presumably nothing in hand. Probably a land. Kyle draws Force of Will to go along with his Murderous Cut and attacks for 4.
Man, I do love Young Pyromancer.
It's a sweet card. What Pokemon is that?
That is Slugma,
Ooh,
believe is the card.
how darling. See another Young Pyromancer.
And attack for 4. Brenna's just not drawn much this game. She's drawn like a couple lands.
Yeah, and at this point, there are not many good draws in the deck. Thalia would be good.
This is probably the worst draw in the deck, besides
Yes.
basic planes.
Yeah.
Is this going to get cut anyways? Probably.
Yeah, it lets you attack with your Young Pyromancer.
Unfortunately, he can't cut and play Deathrite.
No, because he got his Tropical Island wastelanded.
Ooh. Also, the Underground Sea got tapped down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, instead of continuing this, Brenna's just going to concede here.
But Brenna, I mean,
I think
if she
she's
draws Batterskull, she's not dead.
dead. I think she's no. I think she has to block. I think she might just be
So?
dead.
She gains 4.
No, with the Stoneforge.
No, you literally draw Batterskull.
Oh, draw actual Battle Skull. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
All right, Kyle just boarding in a bunch of removal and garbage like that.
Like in that spot, it's 2 seconds. You know, untap and just see if you draw it.
Yeah.
But if you do, you probably just win the game.
You're ahead. Let's see what Kyle decides to cut in this matchup. Painful Truth seems pretty bad on the draw. Joe, he boarded out the Jorian.
Yeah, it's not good here against Thalia.
Spell Pierce getting out of here. Therapy's good.
Therapy's good against Stoneforge in a lot of spots.
I would be tempted to cut.
There's a Terminate in his main deck.
Yeah, I saw that earlier. I saw him terminate a Death Ray Shaman.
Oh my god.
This deck
is
is
so slanted to beat fair decks.
That's what it seems like. A lot of young Pyromancers. He's got a few Spell Pierces, and he's got, he still has a bunch of therapies.
Yeah.
Like, he has therapies and probes, so, look at all the cards. He's cutting his Force of Wills, his Spell Pierces, and a couple therapies.
To beat combo, you basically just have to draw Young Pyromancer. Like, that's the only way I can imagine you beat combo decks.
Oh, yeah, it's really hard to race. But, like, when I was playing the version with Dig Through Time, I was able to just race Dredge.
That seems not healthy.
I'm great.
I mean, healthy for
great.
The format.
Well, Dig Through Time was absurd.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
All the games you end up... Like, the difference between Painful Truth, often when you cast one, you end up casting multiples, but not in the same way that Dig. That deck regularly casts 3 Dig Through Times a game. Often 5.
Because you had no way to win, so it was going to take that long.
For Pyromancer.
Yep.
There's also one Jace. The one Jace was so good. I only cast it maybe once, but it was very good.
It's just Pyroblast bait, so you can resolve your Dig.
Or Dig is a Pyroblast bait.
Who knows?
Jace is pretty good too. Anyways, I don't miss Dig Through Time, I gotta say. Yeah, the life cost on Painful Truths is like a very legitimate concern. So like I think Kyle might end up bringing the Painful Truths back in on the play. Like, I think it's very possible he just gets ground out by Death and Taxes. Otherwise, like, the not having a way to gas back up is like a very real concern.
My concern for Brenna's side of this matchup is we've seen that Kyle is so slanted against fair decks. Like, I don't actually think she has much post board to bring in. Like, Canonist is okay. It's not great.
She could put in Rest in Peace.
Rest in Peace is a lot worse against the deck now that there's not as much Delve.
Yeah, and it does have Deathrite Shaman, which is a real card, but it's just not that concerning. And I think the Grixis deck can just play right through it.
Yeah, like I'm having a hard time coming up with like bullets that you would actually have in your deck post board for this.
Honestly, this hand looks great.
It's fine. It's very fair.
I think that's good. I think fair is good in this matchup.
Is it?
Yeah.
I mean...
Specifically fair with Thalia.
This hand is a little soft to Cabal Therapy.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
Getting your Flicker Wisps taken here would be pretty brutal. Or just your Stoneforge.
Both those cards are pretty obnoxious. Like, well, if you have Therapy, do you even name Stoneforge? Do you just wait until Brenna goes to get a Batterskull?
He does have Therapy in hand. I think...
I would just hit Thalia.
Yeah, you can do that.
And then you could flash it back.
We'll see what he wants to take.
If Kyle's another probe, he could flash it back as early as next turn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's just going to take the Flicker Wisps, though.
Take the guaranteed value right now.
He also... Yeah, he doesn't have Forcible in his deck, but Thalia will be doing some damage. Kyle noting that he has just picked up 2 cards.
Perfect. Well, you know, when your cards are both curved, it's hard to pick up just one.
What Greg is trying to say here is that Kyle's deck is all foil.
Yeah.
I like that Brenna just took that time to have a little bit of a Cheez-It break. Get the craving. That's pretty normal.
Yeah.
Let's see if we got a turn 2 Pyromancer here from Kyle. This mana base is pretty wonky.
Agreed.
I think the Tropical Island is a one-of.
I've never known Kyle to play decks with safe mana bases.
I've never known Kyle to not use every dual land he owns in his decks.
I mean, he went to the trouble of getting them, so why not play them?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Lightning
Bolt going after Thalia.
This does feel like the kind of game where it's just going to be really hard for Brenna to keep up. Especially, like, the Wasteland does help a lot. Another Thalia here would be nuts. I think it's just a Stoneforge Mystic. Like, I think Brenna just wants to do anything she can to get the a couple Revokers out of her deck post board. This is Stoneforge.
Yeah, Revoker is pretty heinously bad.
Does this go for Batterskull or does this go for Sword of Fire and Ice? Yeah, that's what I thought. Sword of Fire and Ice seems really, really good here.
It's fine.
I think it's just it's that or GT, right? Something to fight through Pyromancer tokens.
I think I might have gone for Batterskull there. She's so like it depends what land she has. She's just so far away from playing and equipping either of the other two equipments in one turn.
Ooh. What Kyle could do here is he could Snapcaster Probe and then flash it back to Therapy away the Sword of Fire and Ice. That's pretty good value.
I think that's what we're gonna see.
Yep. Target Probe.
This line
probe
gets
you.
super punished if Brenna had another equipment.
Oh yeah, that would be so bad. I mean, kind of, right? Like you want to answer one anyways.
And in fact, she has another.
She has effectively another piece of equipment with the Stoneforge Mystic.
Yeah, with that next one, I would probably be getting Batterskull.
Yeah.
Just being stuck on 2 lands. Well, I guess she kind of made herself stuck on 2 lands, considering that she wastelanded last turn. But I don't. I mean, it's nice because now she still has Batterskull to get.
She got Sword of Fire and Ice, Warmac. I think we're gonna see Brenna just go get the Batterskull now.
Yeah.
She did draw land this turn.
Okay.
But it's a wasteland. That's
red.
really good.
Yeah, keep going after the red.
This is exactly how I think she's gonna. She's like most likely to win the game, and she's gonna play Canonist and pass.
Huh.
Kyle drawing.
That is interesting.
Kyle has 3 Brainstorms and a Ponder here.
Well, Canis is pretty great against that.
Ooh, we're starting with the Brainstorm.
So
Risky.
I think that's what we see here is
and he bricked.
yeah.
I don't know why you leave with the Brainstorm over the Ponder.
Well,
That's kind of crazy to me.
you can ponder next turn.
Great. That's not good.
Yeah.
Like
So Brenna basically turned her Revokers into Canonists, which seems ideal in this matchup.
oh yeah. Very much so.
I think we will see Stoneforge getting Batterskull now.
Is
In
that
all
be-
likelihood.
Is that better than getting Jite? Probably.
I think so.
Ooh, no, I don't think we will. I think we're just
Okay.
going to see that. Brainstorm with that. Reach through Mist's Resolve.
Misses.
Oh, yeah. We brick again.
I mean, he has to cast it. He has to keep digging.
Did Kyle not draw for his turn?
Yes.
How do you miss that twice? I'm not going to correct it. I'm not going to do it. It's not my job.
Yeah.
This is his own punishment.
Well, it's both players, right? Also, Brenna's playing a Mangara, which I approve of.
Is she?
Yeah.
Mangar's not bad.
She scrolled by one, I think.
I think Brenna said, see, this is why you get Jite, because you could play it.
Because she drew lands.
Lands are good.
Yeah.
Play lands in your deck.
And once you have the 4th land, then yeah, Jite's fine.
Oh, now we play the Ponder.
This game's over.
Hey, he found the land. Of course, he can't cast a second spell because of the Ethosworn Canonist.
Yeah. Yeah, Warmac, what I was saying about sideboarding here for Brenna is, like, she doesn't really have any, like, slam dunks to bring in, I imagine. She's kind of just, like, her whole main deck is, like, fine in the matchup, except for a Revoker, and I think she's basically just turning Revokers into Canonists, which is probably the best you can do, or hope for.
I think the best way to beat this deck is play Thalia and Wasteland. Like,
Yeah.
that was my issue when I played the Grixis Pyromancer deck, is that, this similar deck, is because your mana base is just so susceptible to Wasteland.
7-0, I think Brenna's played this game fine. I'm probably being too hypercritical of some of the Stoneforge choices.
I think, I just think, I think you've just been wrong. So, that's just me.
I mean, if she had gotten Batterskull a while ago, I think this game would have ended a lot sooner. Also, this Grixis Pyromancer deck is extremely soft to Batterskull.
Yes.
That's what I found in the past. They usually have like one answer.
Like the
maybe
Kolaghan's
2.
Command?
Yeah.
A Rakdos Charm, perhaps? The
I mean,
Needle?
Exactly. Needle answers Jite, but not Skull. Not really Skull, at least.
Yeah. Well, that's true. The best way to beat any Grixis deck is to play against people not named Noah Walker.
Noah is very good.
Yep. To be fair, this deck doesn't have Delver in it. It's a little different, much more controlling.
Yeah.
But I would still never want to play against Noah in Legacy. Ooh, I forgot to update this match record. But yeah, that is game 2 there. We're going to go to game 3 from these players.
Mm-hmm.
Brenna going to be on the draw this time. I think the best play against Noah is to hope that a Meteor hits him. Because he just doesn't lose. Doesn't lose.
I've successfully played against Noah once.
You successfully played against Noah once.
I did not lose. I also did not win.
Oh, was it the Team Limited Grand Prix?
Yeah, we did not get to finish our game 3.
Oh, because you had already lost the match.
Yes.
All right, so your team lost to Noah's team.
Noah's team successfully destroyed my team.
Yep, you guys lost. Unfortunate.
They're very nice guys. Very good people.
They're running it back this weekend in DC.
I'm a big fan of both Noah and Spencer Garnier.
Mm-hmm.
Garnier.
Gagne.
Gagne.
But yes, they are playing again this weekend.
I'm sure they'll do very well.
Oh yeah, definitely. Very, very, very good team. We'll see how it goes. Who do you think is going to be favored to win this Grand Prix?
I don't know. Probably LSV's team.
It's like what about Matt Sperling's team?
What's his?
Matt Sperling, Paul Rietzel, and David Williams.
Oh, that's always their team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
good.
no, they like haven't been played together in a while.
Oh.
But like them, but then you also have
Mm-hmm.
William Jensen, Reed Duke, and Huey,
And
William,
Matt Owen.
and Owen.
Yeah, it's hard to pick against them ever.
And then Matt Nass, Jacob Wilson, and Sam
Yes.
Pardee.
Yes, these teams are all very stacked, and
All of
I don't know how you really hope to do that well
against those teams.
Yeah, like
Look, you gotta beat good teams if you
beat
want
the
to do well.
best. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be a pretty good squad. Fine Gersh, but if only. Clancy, I think Kyle is playing all of the above. All right, turn 1 Deathrite for Kyle here. Let's see if we have a Swords to Plowshares from Brenna. She's thinking about this 1-drop. It's going to be Mother of Runes and a pass. Kyle doesn't look like he has an answer immediately. He might have Abrupt Decay in his hand.
It's another matchup. I wonder about boarding out 1 Vial. It's probably like Brenna probably doesn't have enough things to bring in that it's really on the radar. Like, you want to get all of the Revokers out first.
Yes.
But it's another matchup where it seems like it's going to drag. Things are going to drag a bit, and Vial might be unnecessary.
Sulfur Elemental, you say?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Let's pull up that card.
That's going to have to get plowed. Is Kyle not sure about...
How do you not just jam this Sulfur Elemental?
He's getting greedy and wants even more value.
Why?
I don't know.
Oh my god. The greed is real!
He wants... Yeah, I hope he gets wastelanded.
Well, I found a Bolt and a Land and a Brainstorm, so basically perfect.
Yeah.
What's it like, Kyle? Like, I mean, this is just...
Yep.
I think just taking your 2-for-1 is a little bit better, but maybe I'm old-fashioned.
You are.
Brenna draws Vial on turn 2, as always, and another Mom.
Okay.
That does explain why she was thinking about what to play on turn 1.
Interesting that she she must have drawn Vial, right?
I think so. I think she definitely would have played Vial on turn 1 if she had the choice. And once again, Kyle...
Terminate.
I'm not crazy, right? That's a Sulfur Elemental?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, there. realizing that he's just wasting cards here.
Yeah, because you can terminate something that Sulfur Elemental doesn't kill.
Okay. That is a Sulfur Elemental. I'm not crazy.
Oh yeah. I think you have to hold Terminate for something that the rest of your hand doesn't kill currently.
Like Sarah Avenger?
I mean...
Is he going to Ponder first or Brainstorm first? I guess this is fine. I'm not in love with this play. Like, brainstorming here, your hand's already really good. I don't know what else you'd want to add to your hand to sort of improve it here. It's basically just reach through miss at best.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think this is a very, very premature brainstorm. Let's see what Kyle's doing here. He has...
So he's terminating the Mother of Runes.
No, he's...
Or he's just going to let it sit and play for a turn.
And letting it sit and play is fine.
No. Now he's going to Sulfur.
Why does it give +1, -1? What is the point?
The +1 is probably just to piss me off.
That might be fine.
Yeah. They had good foresight.
Yes, I think that's right. But like, isn't this card just really bad against Death and Taxes? Because Ponder. Okay.
Alright, so passing on Sulfur Elemental.
I mean, you could just, as long as he's like, I'm okay with this play as long as he like doesn't terminate this mob.
Yeah.
Like that would be, I think,
that would be
the worst result.
That would be a spew.
A huge spew, just spewing for days.
Nope, here it is.
Oh my God, the spew is real. The spew is so real.
I don't know. I don't get it.
All right, you've done it. You've done it, Kyle.
I think Brenna's got to be pretty happy.
Unless we're insane and that's an ancient grudge.
It's not. Now it's gonna get sulfur elementaled. I imagine because Kyle's out of removal spells.
Coming to the front of the hand here. I don't think this is gonna really change how Brenna plays not playing the Sulfur Elemental. I don't know. All right, Sulfur Elemental finally coming down. Split second. Thalia's dead.
I love dropping your hand on the table.
It's just like, yep.
Yep, you drew your insane sideboard card.
And a Ponder. Kyle sees Pyromancer, Brainstorm, and another Deathrite Shaman. That all seems fine. I mean, Pyromancer's a clock.
Yeah, Brenna also basically forced to have a plow here for the Sulfur Elemental in all likelihood. I mean, it does make your Serra Avenger hit for 4 if you have it.
Bash.
Bash for 4.
Take it! Yeah, it's a really unfortunate. Without like a. I mean, like, this is really awkward for Brenna on a number of levels, but just like the Wasteland not being very good because of the Deathrite, being short on lands,
yeah,
the Sulfur Elemental
being mana screwed.
Yeah, the Sulfur Elemental just like nuking half of the cards in her deck. Bit of a problem. The sorcery speed on the Sulfur Elemental made sense because he also wanted to ponder that turn.
Sure. And unlocking mana, basically.
Yeah.
Because of Thalia.
Yep. All right, so Brenna holding up a vial for 2 here. That might indicate a Revoker incoming, or maybe a Canonist. Canonist would make sense. It trades with the Sulfur Elemental.
Avenger would be fine.
Here's a Brainstorm, triggering the Young Pyromancer.
I think she has Stoneforge. So, she's Stoneforging now. I think I would wait because
of the possibility of therapy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a little worried about that as well.
I don't really know what you're playing around by doing it now.
She's going to get Sword of Fire and Ice, though.
It's Sword of Fire and Ice.
It's because she also has a Swords.
Okay.
Is this on Deathrite? Or is this on... It's on Pyromancer.
Wow. So, yeah, planning on getting the sword through to kill the Sulfur Elemental.
And then probably the Deathrite after that.
The thing is, Deathrite can always jump in front if need be.
But that's fine.
Yeah, it is fine.
That's like that's a winner right there.
The problem is, though, she doesn't have the lands to get this into play this coming turn. So it gives Kyle a lot of time to get his feet set, before having to deal with what's coming at him with the sword.
Yeah. I
mean, unless Brenna already has the Batterskull in hand.
That'd be certainly a nice level there. I mean, like, Brenna's choked on mana here, so it's very possible she has... I mean, she certainly has some 3-drops hidden in there.
Being stuck on 2, that's kind of like the first equipment I would think to get. Because I would just... You're behind on board, I feel like I need to catch up on board.
So you want the biggest possible thing.
You want to actually be able to do something soon. Huh.
I mean... Yeah, I can see that.
Also interesting, Sulfur Elemental cannot safely attack into Stoneforge Mystic.
No, it
is a 2/1.
It's a Goblin Piker now.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Oh.
You could just trade. That's fine.
Yeah.
Maybe I think her reasoning is that she just expects all of her creatures to die.
And this looks like it is... What is this?
Baleful Strix.
Well, something... Oh, I see. Exiling a land because Deathrite made mana.
Kyle's hand is it's not really that great. It's just a Pyromancer and a Deathrite?
Well, imagine if it had a Lightning Bolt and a Terminate.
Well, I don't need to do that, Greg. I don't need to imagine that.
Yeah.
All right. Passing back to Brenna, she untaps. Does a vial go up to 3 or not?
It all depends.
It does not. Staying on 2.
Tells me she either has
A 2-drop? Is that what you're gonna say?
It's not Thalia, also. So she has a 3rd land, but not the crucial 4th. Just passes back.
I mean, this is fine.
If Kyle
Kyle needs to kill that,
yeah,
and he can't.
he does not currently have the removal. He has Deathrite, Pyro. A very awkward hand. You know, so many things in his deck really reward having spells. He's already cast so many cantrips.
Yeah, he's cast like 3.
There's
2 brainstorms, 2 ponders.
3 ponders.
Jesus.
There's just not that many cantrips left.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some. There's just like far fewer than there have been in previous turns. Here comes Baleful Strix attacking for 1.
Little robot bird flying over,
Oh, yeah.
pecking away. Drop Brenna down to 18 here.
All right, and let's see what Brenna has here.
Ooh, she has a 2-drop.
Is this Sarah Avenger? No,
another Stoneforge. That's pretty great.
Is this going for Jitte?
I think this one's going for Batterskull.
Skull?
Yeah.
You put Skull in, and then put Sword of Fire and Ice on it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I would like to do.
Yeah, that's always a good one.
Yeah, there's
She's
Batterskull.
got to be wondering if there's, like, Abrupt Decay or... But Kyle only has 1 card left. Like, it kind of feels like Kyle's out of gas.
And he is. He's just got that 1 Pyromancer in his hand.
Yeah.
Like, Kyle's just
been a
got
crazy
so many removal
game.
spells. He's really suffering from the spew earlier.
Yeah.
I know we're calling it a spew, which is maybe, I think, a little unfair, but, like, aggressively using the removal spells in the early turns when he had the Sulfur Elemental at the ready.
Yeah, that was
is
ready to get value.
Oh, and she drew the land.
Like, the whole problem with Kyle's game here was that he couldn't find a removal spell to kill Stoneforge. But he already used 2 to answer creatures that his Sulfur Elemental could handle.
Yeah, and then these Stoneforge Mystics were just such a huge problem.
Yeah.
All right. Deathrite blocking, dropping down to 16, and she's going to gain 6 of the 22 from this attack. And then a pass back. Notably, she also has a Wasteland and a Port. So this is...
She also has Vial on 3 if she has Flicker Wisp.
And Kyle did not draw a land. Drew a land instead of a spell here. Just another Pyromancer. And he has 1 more chump block before this Batterskull starts taking huge chunks.
Yeah, it's just Deathrite, right?
Yep. Just Deathrite. Let's see if we have the Flicker Wisp. No. No, we do not. We have something much worse.
Alright, move it over.
I mean, this gets blocked by nothing? Is that just actual Progenitus?
Yeah, it's going to be 12 damage.
Alright, so first strike.
First strike's 4 and a shoot for 2, and then second is another 4 and a shoot for 2. We'll see where these are going.
I think this is just mowing down every creature that Kyle has in play.
Yeah, I imagine the first one's killing Sulfur Elemental, the second's maybe...
Actually, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's actually 10.
10.
Because of the Sulfur. It's 9 because of the Sulfur Elemental.
Thank you.
I actually think Brenna should have killed the Sulfur Elemental second. She missed a point of damage
Dear
there.
God. Thank you, Fjord of Atlantis.
Wow.
I've never seen the 3-1 Mirren Crusader before, but this is awesome.
Brenna going up to 25 here.
Also drawing a pile of cards.
And Athalia. And I think she just sent the second 2.
And
Oh, no, took out the bird as well. And yeah, he's just dead.
Kyle's dead.
Kyle losing that one to Brenna. Death and Taxes going to 3-0.
Man, Death and Taxes is great.
Yep. Deck's great. Don't you love this deck?
Yes.
Yeah, I know. That's weird. Death and Taxes has looked really good. It is tonight. We know Greg is also 2-0, and he's playing for 3-0 at the moment.
Yeah.
Against, I don't know who. So Brenna beat Zeke last round. So it's either Andrew or Bowman or Brett. So either another Stoneforge deck or lands.
Mm-hmm.
Both of which I think would probably be pretty good matchups. Esper is like a tough matchup in general, right? That's a legitimately hard matchup.
For...
Death and Taxes?
Yes. Depends how they build their deck, but there's sort of like a shardless bug deck with more teeth, having Jitte of their own.
Yeah, specifically in Batterskull. Like, Shardless Bug is, like, very, very, very vulnerable to Batterskull.
Yes, and rest in peace.
Yes, and, like, Esper just doesn't care in the slightest.
Yeah.
They have, like, Snapcasters for their swords on your guys.
It's like...
and Supreme Verdict.
Yeah, they're kind of just more of a gen deck, but like their cards just line up better.
Yeah, and they also, I think a huge thing is that they play basics.
Yeah, Batterskull is notably one of the cards I'm not that scared of out of their deck because I just Flicker Wisp the Germ.
You know, Clancy makes a good point. Are you Indiana Jones
No.
with this getup here?
No.
You guys don't even see the whip. It's like, I don't know why he brought it either.
Yeah.
He doesn't bring it everywhere. Anyways.
My friend from college got this jacket online, and it was too big for him, so he just gave it to me and ordered a smaller one.
Oh my God, that's an actual Indiana Jones origin story right there.
You're welcome, Chad.
Greg Schaefer-Anna Jones. It all works together.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got a little too excited there, Clancy. The you can't use too much caps. Mubot is very unexcited about caps.
Cap sensitive.
Yes, cap sensitive. I would agree with that. Thank you to our new followers, by the way, Chubasaurus Rex and Ruma Debosta. Did I say that right? I must have said that perfectly.
It sounded great.
All right, I'm gonna hop out there and see if we have another match going we can put on. I think we're probably pretty close to the end of the round, though.
Yeah.
All right, we'll take a look. I'll be right back.
You can also see what we can watch next round. Fjord of Atlantis, great username, and thank you for the follow. That's great. Turn 1 Lackey is delightful. Ooh, Lemon of Pink, thank you for the follow. Warmac asks, how good is Blue-Red Prowess in Standard? I haven't gotten to playtest much with it. Marianne and I were playing that matchup against Rally, 4-color Rally a few months ago, or a few weeks ago, I guess. And it felt close. The tricks are very good. Reflector Mage was a problem, but what can you do? Fate 1316. I am not sure how many slots are left for the PPTQ. I know caps at larger tournaments in this store in the past have been like 80. I can't imagine that they've already capped. I'm probably going to try to pre-register, though, either after this tournament tonight or at F&M tomorrow, just to make sure that I get a spot, because I want to win another PPTQ. Also, if anyone's thinking about coming on Sunday, which is when this tournament is at MTGCardmarket, if you pre-register, the entry fee is $25. If you pay on Sunday at the event, it is $30. So if you like $5 and you like money, I would suggest pre-registering. Nomad, we believe that there was one Eldrazi deck earlier in the night. We know that they lost round 1, and it doesn't seem like they've floated to the top. But Phil's out in the main room right now checking for what's doing well and what we'll be able to watch in round 4. I imagine we won't watch Death and Taxes a 3rd round in a row, despite, what I personally might enjoy. Phil has a taste for the finer things in Legacy, though. What other questions? This is a great time to ask me or other people in chat questions. Get some talking going. Let's see. Cool. Yeah, so that was a pretty interesting round. I think we saw in that game, that 3rd game, just what happens when you let go of your cantrips a little too early. Like, Kyle was in such an advantage spot earlier in the game that it seemed like he didn't need to cast all of those ponders and brainstorms necessarily, like, one after another. Like, his hand was good. He just needed to, like, pace a little differently. AK Cracker, I will be bringing Rally to the PPTQ, and fortunately at the RPTQ I did not lose a match, so I will be in Madrid. It's weird to think about, but Rally is a really good deck, and I got rewarded for having played it for like the past 3 months straight, so I knew it. I think I know it pretty well by now. So that was a good day. Yeah, turn 1 Lackey. I agree with the bolts and the terminates. Yeah, I think... Feingersh. I agree so much that you don't get invited. It sucks that you don't get invited to the next RPTQ when you win one. Because if anyone wasn't aware, if you lose in the top 8 of an RPTQ, you get an invite to the next season's RPTQ automatically. So you don't have to go around everywhere to more of these sometimes not the best stores for PPTQs. Obviously, Card Market is like one of the best stores I've been to for PPTQs in terms of like organization, having good judges. But Fate 1316, worst matchup for Rally. I don't really know if there is like a bad matchup. I think the worst thing that can happen for you is just people drawing a lot of hate cards and your own deck not delivering a powerful draw. Like sometimes you just draw a lot of Elvish Visionaries and you're just way too slow to do anything relevant. Like I think anytime you draw like a good mix of Collected Company and maybe find a rally, like almost every matchup is winnable. Okay, yeah, Rato Sai. Ramp can be a problem. I've only gotten to play that matchup a very little bit. It seems like the matchup is very wonky. It kind of depends on like what build of ramp the opponent has chosen to play. Yeah, ramp, like Chandra, it can be a problem, and Ugin. If your draw doesn't come together in the right way against ramp, I think it can be pretty bad. Feingersh, yeah, people playing red with a lot of Teamer Battle Rages can be scary. Personally, I've never lost to red, but I also feel like I've probably run hot in a couple spots to not have lost to red at times. Yeah, we had... So it's curious, Feingersh mentions that... So Ben Feingersh in the chat is one of the people I've been talking to about our build of Rally. And we had 3 Pitiless Horde in our sideboard for Houston. I did not have it for the RPTQ because I'm not privy to that info. But yeah, it seemed good against ramp. I know that Owen has Despise instead of Pitiless Horde, which seems interesting. I don't really know which is better. It seems like, I mean, either can be good, obviously. It really just depends on the spot. Black-Red Dragons. AK Cracker, yeah, Black-Red Dragons has some draws I think that can be problematic for Rally. The thing is that I think Rally is a more consistent deck than Black-Red. Just having more deck manipulation makes your games just play out so much more smoothly than I think almost any other deck in the format, which I think is a huge advantage. Like, all last year with the Scry lands, like, not, like, so many more decks than would normally have access to fixing or, you know, like, controlling their draw steps. I think people got kind of, like, spoiled maybe by that, and now there are so many decks that are so at the mercy of their draw step, and I think Black-Red Dragons is like one of the most in that front, because it's really just like you're hoping to hit your first 5 land drops and draw a perfect mix of spells and threats.
The deck never beats Hardened Scales, right? Never? I don't think it ever beats Hardened Scales.
Someone asked what's the bad matchup for Rally, and I don't know. I don't know if there is one. Like, bad matchup? There might be some, like, not great matchups.
Ramp.
Yeah, that's what I said.
And even then,
sometimes, like, if their build isn't like particularly slanted,
Chandra's really good.
Yeah, Chandra is very good.
Chandra's like outrageously good. Chandra, I think, is the second best. Like, maybe probably the third best card in the format. Like
turn 5 Chandra.
Because like Jace goes in every, like, basically every deck at this point. Like, I think Collected Company is the best card.
Yeah.
It's like probably Collected Company, Jace, and Chandra are the 3 best cards right now.
Seems likely.
Anyways,
There's not really a deck that can play all three.
no, we do have a Mac. These players do not have a ton of time, and they are not the players listed right here.
Okay.
We've got John Lautis on the right playing Shardless, playing against Esper Stoneblaze.
So this is still the end of round 3.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And both players are going to have to play a fast game 3. We will see how capable they are of doing so.
Yeah, that was one thing I noticed about John earlier with Shardless. It was taking kind of a long time.
Yeah. Honestly, I think it's like kind of a common theme for a lot of players sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of our players are still like we've had an influx, I think, of some new blood in our legacy scene, and a lot of people are, like figuring out what they're doing, basically. And legacy is not easy. You have a lot of hard decisions because your cards cost so little mana. It's not like standard where a lot of the time you cast
your 2-drop and then you cast your 3-drop.
Yeah, you play your most expensive card that you can afford, on each turn. In these decks that have Brainstorm and Ponder, you have a lot of options on a lot of turns.
Yeah, you complicate a lot of the decision making a lot.
Yes.
All right. What do we have here? We have a double fetch from Brett on turn 2 here. Let's see if we have a Stoneforge Mystic coming down, or maybe a Rest in Peace. This matchup seems very close. I think Shardless is probably favored because of specifically the card Shardless Agent.
Okay.
But if Brett has a lot of copies of Lingering Souls, Lingering Souls is just really, really good.
It is
in this kind of matchup.
Yeah, Brett. Brett definitely a person who also slants his decks to be good against fair decks, I think.
Yeah, although he did beat Nathan.
Sure. I mean, you can still beat unfair matchups.
Yeah.
But I remember Brett commonly having,
main
sometimes multiple main deck Supreme Verdicts.
Yeah. I the one time I played against Brett, I beat him because he had a lot of different sideboard cards for me against Storm. Like, it was like Leyline and Meddling Mage and Canonist and Force of Will and
just
that sort of stuff.
Too
and
much.
Flusterstorm too. Yeah, and Surgical.
Sure.
He had a lot of different cards that were just like hard to play around.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is also probably a Toxic Deluge mirror.
Also, these basic lands are adorably altered.
Cubone and Eevee?
Yeah.
Is this so we got that Deathrite. Okay, he got it. All right, thank you, John. John just waving to the camera because he knew I was gonna go.
It's only happened 3 times.
Oh yeah. I will say the onus is on both players to remember that.
It is.
So like, John is not just to blame. All right, another Goyf coming down here. Let's see if Brett does have a sweeper. John's fetched twice and gotten swords once. Let's see, they got a basic island. Oh, so many basics. Is that Squirtle on that one?
Yes.
That's so cute.
It's great.
I like it a lot. Usually these Esper Stoneblade decks tend to have 4 basics.
Yeah.
Usually a second island over a second plains. I know originally it was so you can cast Jace through Blood Moon.
Notably, I think
Wasteland.
I think Brett does his own altars.
Really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that I remember this about Brett.
That's awesome. Looks like Brett found a Deathrite, a Snapcaster, and a Wasteland. Snapcaster's pretty great. If he has the 3rd land in hand, he can snap swords. A Tarmogoyf right now.
Sure.
Yeah, Brett's decks are always really pretty.
Well, he only plays this one in Legacy.
Yes, but yeah, the altars are great.
Yeah.
He's got a Deathrite and a pass. So I think next turn he's going to go for the Snap Swords. Oh, he does have the land.
Looks like he has multiple land. What is that black card?
It looked like a Toxic Deluge to me.
Yeah, right? So maybe that's what he's... Well, if he was setting up for that, why would he play the Deathrite?
I think we have to be wrong. I think that's just got to be it.
Yeah. I wonder what that card is. Okay.
With some of the altars, it's just hard to tell.
We shall see.
Ooh, Hymn to Torak. There it is. It's all just such a killer.
It is very good. Land.
Yeah. And then Brainstorm. Oof.
Yeah.
Leaves Brett with land and one other spell. Unless that's a drown. It looks like a drown catacomb.
It does.
All
I
right.
can't imagine it's Drowned Catacomb.
Yeah, it might be. Sorcery and instant in the yard now, so this is an attack for 6. Still no creature, right?
Right.
It's gonna drop Brett down to 9.
There's
so
Snapcaster.
he has Snapcaster. I'm pretty sure that is Drowned Catacomb.
It
I'm-
looks like Drowned Catacomb.
No, yeah. Look at the text box.
Yeah.
It's blue and black. Yes. Yes.
Wow.
Choke protection. It's like when I used to see Glacial Fortress show up in these decks too.
Yeah, that's true.
So brainstorm on John's end step.
Okay. Interesting.
Excuse me, on Brett's end step. Is Brett responding? Is that what's happening here?
Yeah, I think he needs to snap plow now. Because otherwise I feel like John would definitely force of will if he found one.
I think John might have seen the 4th card when he brainstormed.
I see. Captain QC, I think Brett has Underground Seas.
Oh, he does.
I think it's just
I think it's choke protection.
yeah.
Like I've seen, it's like how sometimes Miracles used to play a Mystic Gate.
I see.
I definitely have seen Glacial Fortress in that spot specifically.
Brett thinking about when he wants to fire off this Snapcaster, I think.
Ooh, is this a Liliana? Ooh, John was quickly tapping 3 lands there. He's gonna start with an attack for 6.
Well, if you had Liliana, I think doing it first is pretty enticing because it puts a creature in the graveyard.
Yeah, I would
Right?
assume so.
So it seems unlikely that that would be it.
Much more likely that it was probably a Liliana. I think. Sorry,
Shardless Agent?
Shardless Agent, yeah. All right, Snapcaster on Swords to Plowshares. Swords taking out a Goyf here. John going to gain 3, going up to 22. Let's see if Brett decides to block. Is he going to block with Snapcaster?
Well,
It does grow the Goyf.
it's a 3/4. Yeah, it doesn't really.
I think I
seem-
would just take 3.
Yeah, it doesn't really seem like it would make much sense.
Yeah, it was Shardless Agent.
Okay.
Woohoo!
Vom.
Brainstorm was good. And this is a very hard spot to come back from.
Yeah, I wonder if John will have enough time to close out the game, though.
How do you feel about this card getting unbanned in Modern?
It'll shake things up. I'd play it.
I like it. It's a good card. It's not broken. It's really good.
Pushing it. I think it would be extremely good in a Snapcaster deck.
Why? It doesn't even work well with Snapcaster.
Not explicitly, but just like, all right, maybe like a Grixis Control. Think like
Maybe I think the fact
a
that
blue Jund deck. You know, use
Yeah.
attrition, gas all the way back up.
Sure. My one, my reasoning for it not being broken is specifically. I mean, we can talk about this later, but is that it's not broken with the best blue cards in Modern.
Okay.
That being Snapcaster Mage and probably Jace.
Yes.
I think Jace will soon prove itself to be one of the best blue cards in Modern.
I hope that it gets the chance.
Yeah. Anyways, looks like John has lining up an attack here. There's Liliana. Brett just has a land in his hand. Plussing, taking out an extra visions. And is he minusing? What's happening here?
Well, a land was put in the bin, but the Lily is. Yeah,
oh no, he did
okay,
plus.
he
Okay,
did
yeah,
plus.
that was very confusing. And then an attack with both these creatures.
Interesting to not minus.
Minusing is a little bit better here.
Yeah, because now I think you just get to trade Snapcaster with Shardless Agent. I guess that grows Goyf by 2.
Yeah.
Creature and artifact.
And he's gonna toss both these creatures in the yard.
This is lethal next turn.
Yep. Especially with he has 2 tar pits too.
Oof. Yeah.
One small thing, I think it's better to wait on that wasteland. People often end step wasteland when they can just untap with it.
Mm-hmm.
Wait until you maximize information. And yeah, John, you're gonna be able to take that one down. And what I think is a pretty tough matchup for Esper Stoneblade.
Yes.
I would certainly much rather be on the side of the deck with draw 3s. It's possible that Brett has Painful Truth in the sideboard. Yeah, hey, Brett did miss a Death Right activation there. Although I really don't think it would have mattered.
Probably not.
Yeah, he does have dual lands in his deck. No worry there.
Yeah, Brett's been playing Esper Stoneblade, his own variant of Esper Stoneblade for as long as I've
never seen him play different. No, I've seen him play Pox.
Okay. That was his Pox phase.
I guess so. Look, do you ever just go through like a goofy deck phase?
Yes,
Yeah.
all of the decks I play.
I know. I asked specifically because I know the answer.
Yeah.
You went through that weird phase where you just played Merfolk, despite me telling you not to play Merfolk.
Yeah.
To be fair, I legitimately tell everyone I know whenever they're like, I'm going to play Merfolk, I'm like, don't do that.
Yes. I heard you say that to someone, me, very recently.
Yeah.
Like within the past 2 weeks.
I'd like to say I'd like to think I was right.
I agree. The deck that I wound up playing in Detroit did win the tournament.
Yep.
Not in my hands because
No.
I suck.
Sorry, Simon. I'm pretty sure I told you not to play Merfolk too. Anyways,
Round 4.
round 4. Are the two? Did Greg win?
Greg did not win.
Oh, so Andrew
Bowman
and
got
Andrew.
him one-on-one like he wanted to. Had his way with him, you could say.
Okay.
You gonna watch lands?
No, they're gonna. I think they're gonna draw. Who is
2-1.
Well, we know that John is 2-1. Greg Ivy is 2-1. They can't play each other anymore. Is Zeke
Dropped.
Zeke dropped?
Yep.
How about Sydney?
I'm just gonna go out and see the pairings,
Yeah.
and I'll return. And I'll let you know.
That makes sense.
This cubes.
Seems way easier.
Sydney, what's your record?
I had 2 up.
Okay. Legacy Merfolk, how to beat lands. Back to basics seems like the thing to do. Past that, maybe you could surgical extraction to get the punishing fires out of there. Or like Relic of Progenitus. How you doing?
Hey man, are you streaming by yourself?
Oh yeah. Are you 2-1?
Yeah.
Good job. Yeah. Fjord of Atlantis, I hope you know that your username is fantastic. Also, my Twitch username is CurseCatcher. Chalice on 2, I think, is pretty ambitious against lands. Like, it obviously can be good. It's just very slow. Yeah, I agree with Warmac. The real plan is Relic, Choke, and Basic Islands. Yeah.
Are you on air?
I am.
Okay.
I'm always on air. Why do you ask?
Lance is not a good matchup for Death and Taxes.
Oh, I think it's very favorable.
Maybe his specific Lance build because.
Oh, because he has a lot more
Punishing
removal. Low on Punishing Fire should be good for us.
Fires. Right, exactly. So
Yeah.
maybe his specific build.
I think they are all favorable.
That sounds completely wrong.
Flickerwist is bananas.
Well, yes, obviously Thurgos is a great card.
Yeah.
But it seems completely wrong to say that Lance is a favorable matchup.
All right.
What's your record?
It's EXO, I just drew the Lance guy.
Oh, so you just drew?
Yeah.
You should let Bern do commentary. She's very good.
She can sit down. Phil sucks. All right. Tell me why you think lands is not a good matchup. We're talking stock lands now.
Okay. I think that Lance is not a good matchup because of the existence of Punishing Fire.
Okay.
I think that they cast Punishing Fire against every creature in our deck, and all of our creatures die. And then we have nothing.
You can lose to Punishing Fire, especially game 1.
Yes. But then game 2...
They're also just cold and Mother Runes, though, in that spot. Also,
yes, but they also have Engineered Explosives.
well,
After
his
post-board.
version. Okay, post-board.
But post-board, they all do.
Sure. They also have like 4 Crows and Grips, usually.
Yeah, which
Yeah.
is really rough for us
Yes.
against given
Rest in
all
peace.
our equipment and
Yeah.
Rest in Peace and Ether Vial.
They also can't be Cataclysm, usually.
That's true.
I don't know.
However, they can port and waste us to
Yeah.
the point where we can't cast Cataclysm.
This is true. I don't know. I think it is
Tell me
probably close. I've had good luck in the past. I don't know.
Tell me about the times you've beaten lands and why you feel like it's a great matchup.
Flickerwist.
Yeah.
No, obviously Fligorous is a great card, Phil.
I don't know. I think my win rate against lands is probably like 75%.
Can I play against the lands players you play against? I need to
I want to. So, surveying the room. I'm gonna just. There's a match, by the way, that's about to be on camera. Surveying the room, there were like 2 people on the side of it being a very good matchup for Death and Taxes, 2 people on the side of it being a very bad matchup for Death and Taxes, and then 1 person, the lands player, saying it was very even.
Yeah.
Yeah, Andrew's just like, yeah, I think it's pretty even. I think that's probably the closest thing to the truth we're going to get, but
Yeah.
I definitely think Death and Tax is his favorite.
Yeah.
Okay, Simon, I notice you want to know about the card Pithing Needle. Pithing Needle is a fine card. You only have one of them, and they run like 4 Crows and Grip, so...
And they always board in 4
They have a
Crows.
lot of things they have to Crows and Grip, though. You can overload them.
And Cataclysm. Cataclysm's unbeatable.
Yes.
If you can cast your Cataclysm, which can you?
Probably
Even-
not, because you're
right.
both wastelanding each other like crazy.
Yeah, and so many Rashadon boards
Yeah.
that you just can't do that.
I think it's like a very... I think in reality it's going to end up being just like a super close matchup. But
But yeah,
I have-
usually Flicker Wisp is just
You
the
just
best
never win.
card.
They
so-
never win.
yeah, and
against
I've
Lens.
only seen him win. I always come by... Whenever I saw him playing the deck, he's always winning.
That's so weird.
Boop.
All right, Simon, that's not a real card.
All right. We got Wayne and Tam playing Brett Eric's. Oh no, they switched sides. Brett, why would you do this to me? I think both players are. Oh, thanks, Greg.
Yeah.
How many people can you actually fit in?
You
How
know.
many people are going to do commentary at once?
Exactly. We can only do as many as 3. I think as our absolute maximum. I don't know what these players' records are. They're going to be 2-1 now. No, they're going to be 1-2 now.
Yeah.
Never the pessimist, Phil.
I saw Brett lose last round. That's the only reason I say that.
Texas Ranger, hello. Glad to see you in chat.
This is Bant.
Still hanging around.
I'm just gonna call it Bant because that's what it is. I think previously this is what when Sam Black top-aided Grand Prix DC, someone affectionately called it Feces Bant. But I'm not gonna go by that. It's just a goofy. It's just like a Green Sun Zenith Knight of the Reliquary pile. There's not really a
With
ton
True
going
Nemesis.
on. Yeah, that's True Nemesis. Okay, I did not know Thopter's Sword was in Brett's deck.
Oh yeah.
It is.
Oh yeah,
I've learned a
this
lot.
Kasali Pride Mage looms.
Ready to snipe out at least half of the the Foundry aspect of this combo.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The-
my match with him was rather ridiculous.
Wayne does have multiple ways to interact with this combo, drawing another way with Scavenging Ooze here off of his Brainstorm. I think this is a end step Brainstorm, or perhaps after Brett fetches up the Sword of the Meek. Let's pull up Sword. This is the one that's banned, right? In Modern? I don't want to scroll because
I believe
people
it
see it.
is.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
the one that's banned in Modern. All right. I gotta...
Yes, it is banned in Modern.
The half of the combo that's banned.
Yes. See an attack for 4 here, thanks to the wonderful power of Exalted. And a Sword Splasher's taking out Stoneforge Mystic.
And that should be exiled. We'll get Brett to take care of that right away.
I've had a lot of things get put in the graveyard.
No one remembers. Swords to Plowshares exiles a card, including Greg Ivy, who just could not remember it 3 occasions.
Really?
Yep, in the same match.
And they were his Swords to Plowshares
Absolutely.
that he was in control of and should absolutely have known what his card did.
Mhm.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
He also missed a spell costing more because of his Wingmare in play.
And if Bobby Flay would like to make me pizza, I will eat it.
We went to Gordon Ramsay's restaurant.
We did.
That was awesome in Vegas.
Yeah.
That was a surreal experience. sort of feast and famine coming down for Wayne here. Probably the sword you see least of in Legacy. But maybe Body and Mind is probably the one.
Body and Mind is the one that doesn't count. Also, there's War and Peace, which no one plays.
War and Peace. Although we had a conversation earlier where friend of the show Ben Feingersh was handed a Death and Taxes deck by Marco Durzo, and he played 74 of the 75 cards. And the one card that Ben played in the sideboard was a Gideon Ally of Zendikar for Miracles.
Okay.
And Durzo beat him with his one card.
Which was
Sword of War and Peace.
beautiful. Beautiful.
It was powerful. Ooh, Brett does have a Supreme Verdict in his hand, so if he's able to not get wastelanded this turn, he'll be able to clean up these dorky creatures on Wayne's side of the board. I think he's going to get smacked with a Sword of Fire and Ice this turn. He does have the combo.
Sort of Feast and Famine.
Sorry, Sword of Feast. Excuse me.
And he does have the combo, and he also has a Supreme Verdict to clear the way.
Seems great.
He's got a Brainstorm hitting Stoneforge Mystic, Deathrite Shaman, and Elspeth Knight Errant.
Yeah.
Nice.
Don't think he hit a 4th land, though.
That did the pause at the top of the picking the 3rd card up. It's
Yeah.
a pretty big tell that looking for the land. I think.
Looking for something powerful. a fourth land pretty critical here. Be able to cast, but he has his triplet of 4 drops.
And given that all he has open is white with the Caracas and the Plains, he can't even cast that Deathrite Shaman this turn.
Yikes.
He is going to
However,
get to
he
shuffle.
is going to be able to shuffle with this Stoneforge Mystic.
Brainstorm and Stoneforge, just best friends.
Assuming he's going to pick up just going to getting back the Sword of the Meek that he put on top of his deck, the same one that he had gotten earlier.
Almost as good as a fetch land.
Almost
Better.
as good.
Better, you draw a card.
It's like better, except if maybe
It costs 2 mana.
yeah, it costs 2 mana and he needs the 4th land desperately. All right, Wayne gonna untap and draw. He's got Daze, Snapcaster Mage, and Scavenging Ooze in his hand. We're gonna put sort of Feast and Famine. I'm gonna keep doing this on Kasali Pride Mage, and Brett's just gonna chump and hope to draw a land here.
That is large.
So attack for 6. Unfortunately, this Daze isn't going to do much against Supreme Verdict. Do we hit the land? We do not. Swords to Plowshares.
Double Exalted.
It's good.
This is the biggest Kasali Prime Mage I've ever seen.
Well, you've never seen a Wiltleaf Legion play, have you?
Ooh.
Apparently the answer is no.
Well, I have, but I don't play green cards.
Yeah, they just pump your white cards? They're only ever giving +1/+1?
Well, I have had 2 in play, so that's also pretty good.
I think Brett's going to deciding if he wants to upkeep. Oh, he has a discard to hand size.
Okay. Easy fix.
Wayne drawing a Tropical Island here, and we get an attack for 6.
Smack you for a lot. Exalted is definitely weak to spot removal.
I don't think Wayne has much of a choice here. I wonder if I assume this was done with the triggers on the stack, but it's possible it was not. Wayne's hand is pretty weak here, though.
Yeah, it just passes back.
He can end step Snapcaster a Brainstorm. I think that's what he's holding up for at the moment. Brett did once again brick on that 4th land, but he did draw a Brainstorm.
He's not under enough pressure though that he really needs to Wrath immediately.
No, although eventually this sword is going to start connecting.
That's true.
Jace helps though, if he can get to there.
As always.
Fighting the storm. I think that is a Mareep on his plains right there.
So this Brainstorm finds him 2 lands. He has a Glacial Fortress, and it appears to be a fetch land, along with another Stoneforge Mystic. So Brett is now... It's smooth sailing from here out for Brett.
I think he's going to draw... do you think he puts back the Sword of the Meek and just tutors for it for the 3rd time in the same game?
Why not?
I hope so.
Yeah,
There we go.
So this is the second M10 land we've seen Brett play. He's also played a Drowned Catacomb we've
Yes,
seen earlier.
it's happening.
Oh, yeah. Does it resolve? I don't
Gonna
think...
pick up the top card.
Picks up his deck. Oh, no, I think you were actually going to go see a different card this time. Man.
Ooh.
Yeah, we're just going to get Batterskull this time. I think now that he knows he's going to hit 5 lands, he's comfortable taking this, especially with the Kasali Pride Mage out of the way.
And that's a nice looking altar with the sunset in the background of the Batterskull there, just to remind you of the desolation you're facing against that turn token.
Batterskull's a real powerful card. I remember reading this card when they first printed it, and
Spoiler.
yeah,
Just like, what the heck?
I just didn't know. I was like, how is this a real card?
Yeah.
And I still think that whenever I see it in play, this would still be like a modern staple if they didn't go ahead and print Kolaghan's Command. Also, every card in the Eldrazi deck. Swords to Plowshares on the end step, taking out the Stoneforge Mystic off of Snapcaster Mage.
So the plow is... Wait,
Yeah, go.
right? It's
Yep.
exile?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Plow? Okay.
Waste.
No, he exiled it correctly.
No, the Plow
No.
is an exile.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
All right. Attack for 5 here.
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And then he gets to untap.
Brett has to pitch a card. I think it's a Wasteland, his last land. Or his 5th land, I should say.
I feel like we may be seeing a Supreme Verdict coming down next turn.
Oh, he discarded the Batterskull.
Interesting.
Wasteland going after the Underground Sea, and now Brett is off of black mana. Still can cast Supreme Verdict, and I think that's what we're going to see happen now. Yeah, Brett quickly tapping 4 mana. And Snapcaster and Noble Hierarch are out of here. Thanks, Greg.
What is up with Swords and Plowshares tonight?
Yeah, it exiled a creature. We know that.
And down comes a Scavenging Ooze. Wayne is catching up a bit after this Supreme Verdict.
And immediately equipping it with the Sword of Feast and Famine, preventing it from any black removal in Brett's deck, although it's fairly likely there is none.
There could
He
be like
also
a
is
murder's
off
cut.
black because of Wayne's skillful wastelanding earlier.
Oh, yeah. That's what Wasteland is known for. That's what we call it, skill land.
Yes. Wasteland is a very skill testing magic.
Brett fetching here. Let's see what do you want to pick up? It's another island. Okay, I am starting to get skeptical that there are dual lands in Brett's deck.
I don't think there are. How could there possibly be any?
Man, he definitely... I've played against him before when he's had duels.
Maybe he sold them.
Maybe. I mean, there are Drowned Catacomb and Glacial Fortress here.
Yeah. Maybe he just felt like he never needed them.
Friend of the show, Ben Feingersh, blames the altar habit.
I mean, that's not unreasonable.
He had to buy more paint. So he had to sell some duels to get
Right.
more paint.
Explosives coming down for 2 and taking out the Scavenging Ooze.
What's happening?
Put the
Alright.
put the lands in his yard instead of the explosives. We got it fixed. Ooh, Stoneforge Mystic off the top for Wayne. That is a great draw.
Let's see what there is.
I don't even know if there would be I think there's a Batterskull in the deck.
So this is like Bant
Yeah, here we
Maverick.
go.
Yeah, Bant Maverick is probably the best thing to call it. You know what, Greg, you got me.
I got you.
Wait, it's not Wayne Tam Maverick.
Yes, it is.
Ben-
Wayne Tam, Maverick.
Wayne, yes,
is
yes.
playing Bant Maverick.
Dash Maverick. Maverick is actually the degree here. And he's earned that now. And then thinking if Wayne wants to equip here, I don't see why not. It's kind of a free roll. Yeah, he does. This is a pretty good spot for Jace though.
Seems great.
Yeah, Jace is great. Looks like instead we're gonna see Thopter
Thopter
Foundry.
Oof.
And here comes...
Sword of the Meek. Sword of the Meek. These tokens are blue, notably. So
Not green or black.
no. So they will be able to block the Stoneforge Mystic indefinitely. Do you think he's going to daze this?
Just so he can't
Get in.
activate.
Yeah, so you can get in one time.
Seems pretty tempting to me. This daze is not doing anything. He's just going to sack the sword, gain a life. I got to say, this is my single least favorite card to deal with on stream. Maverick is typical. Oh my god. Yeah. All right. Look, it's Maverick. We're calling it Maverick. No one can stop me from doing this.
We're not calling it Alien Bant Farm.
Are you?
Alien Bant Farm. Oh my god, I didn't see that.
That's what I was pointing at, Phil.
Holy crap! Alien Bant Farm. Well done, Simon. As usual. Alien Bant Farm.
Take a shower, Warmac.
For anyone, by the way, if anyone was curious, at Grand Prix Detroit, there was one other event there. It was a vape convention.
I'm sorry, it was the vape exhibit.
It was quote the vape exhibit,
VPX for short.
and one of the things going on at VPX was Alien Ant Farm playing for them. Carlos Bantana.
All right. So Wayne is in the middle of a brainstorm right now. He has put that brainstorm in the yard instead of on the stack where it belongs, but we see he's resolving putting 2 cards back on top. He's got a Batterskull in hand right now. We're looking at another Stoneforge. Looks like a Daze and a Wasteland are going back on top.
Seems pretty tempting to put back Daze and Batterskull. Just for like the redraw effect of getting with the Stoneforge Mystic.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he's just like not interested in that. I kind of feel like this is a spot where I'd want a swords to get in, but it feels pretty low value. I don't know. Like I'm not sure how Wayne is going to be able to break up this combo, given that his Scavenging Ooze is dead. I mean, I think he has more than one copy of Kasali Pride Mage in his deck, so if he's able to find a Green Sun Zenith, he'll be able to kill the Thopter Foundry. Yeah, right now Wayne giving a double check that token's not black or green. So swords.
It hurts.
Oh yeah, it doesn't feel good. And then we'll see an attack for 3 here. He will be able to hard cast Batterskull.
Yeah. Yeah, he certainly can.
You can keep Wayne alive for some amount of time, but it's not really letting him win.
And Brett's just gonna like gain 5 life and make 5 1/1s a turn.
They're
Well,
both going to be gaining
Yeah.
a ton of life.
Well, Brett has the advantage though because eventually he'll just be able to sack. He'll just be able to block the lifelinker and sack it.
Yes.
Or is Thopter Foundry sack a non-token? It might be non-token. Aha.
So he can't avoid Wayne gaining the life.
No.
So they'll get into this constructive cycle.
Well, is it? Oh yeah, there's another land and a Jace. Yeah, this is this could take some time.
But he will live long enough to stick the Jace.
And I think that's going to let him pull ahead throughout all of Wayne's shenanigans. I mean, it's like not even the worst thing in the world to just play Jace and bounce the Germ. Oh, I think he's just going to